Oh, hey bitch. Oh, excuse you. Baloney wash. I'm annoyed. I'm just here to give my opinion and carry in. Oh, it's Chris Avalon Unfiltered, bitch. Hey y'all, welcome and happy Wednesday. It's your boy Chris Avalon, and welcome to a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered, a show we basically go in and talk about all things popping off in entertainment news and gossip, movies, music, all that good stuff. So if this is the show for you, definitely stick around, and also be sure to hit that like button and that subscribe button. Also be sure to smash the notification bell. I'm getting tongue twisted all over my words already. So that way you know when we go live with a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. And we got some tea to get into today. We got about 12 topics. We got to talk about the SAG Award nominations that just came out. The NAACP Image Award nominations came out as well. We got some Scream 7 news. We touched on that a little bit yesterday, but I was like, now that Kevin Williamson has dropped some stuff in regards to like the first day, I wanted to talk about it a little bit. Plus, there's rumors going around that they're looking to recast T'Challa in Black Panther 3, which I think they kind of alluded to that in Black Panther Wakanda Forever. So we'll break that down and we'll talk about that. Plus, we got expect a lot more of The View coming our way because they made an announcement that then you're now going to be 7 days instead of 5 days a week. So yeah, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So we got that. We got some Allison Holker news. You know, a lot of tea came out about that yesterday. I was going to talk about it, but I was like, I don't feel like it's a whole lot going on. But now the family is coming at her. She's coming back at the family. It's a whole lot of drama. So we're going to talk about that. Plus, we got to talk about Blake Lively because a former co-star of hers, an old video surfaced. Of course, it got to do with Andy Cohen and damn Watch What Happens Live. You know how messy he is. Because look, first they went after Miss Patty. Now they're coming after Blake. Although some people would consider Blake not being so innocent and all the other stuff that's going on. But anyway, so a former co-star of hers, there was a video saying that she was a nightmare to work with. We're going to talk about that. Plus, Diplo looks like he reached a resolution in his legal dispute against the woman who accused him of RP. Her name was revealed, as well as a pitch and everything. So we got all of that. Plus, we got to break down this thing. Tasha K is out here trying to rehabilitate her image. Good luck with that, niece. Apparently, she's out here saying that Cardi B is attempting to financially ruin her. I cackled when I saw that. Girl, anyway, I'll just save all that energy to when we get to that topic. Plus, Jennifer Lopez's fairy tale marriage to Ben Affleck, they're saying turned out to be a big old nightmare. So we're going to talk about that. Plus, RuPaul, y'all asked for it and she did it. She apparently has responded to Tyra Sanchez's messy tweet towards the Vivienne. And Tyra has, of course, responded to RuPaul's shady tweet or shady post, as some people would say. So we're going to talk about that. Plus, RuPaul's DragCon is coming up in the UK, and they revealed a plan how attendees will be able to pay tribute to the Vivienne. So we have that and a whole lot more. Plus, I also have a little situation going on today with some super stickers. I put up a little thing if y'all see it. Whereas if I get people to donate a little something, you get an extra hour of the show today. So that's like a 30-minute situation. I saw Robert's already donated a little $5. Don't want to do it, that's fine, no pressure. But, any little coin, I appreciate it. And I appreciate all of y'all. Even if you don't want to donate anything, it is free. If y'all could like and subscribe and all that stuff, because it helps with the algorithms. The channel definitely has been growing in the past 8 days. I've been gagging looking at the numbers. Normally, I don't be up in here tripping over algorithms and things of that nature, but I have been noticing that the numbers have been kind of going crazy. So I appreciate all of y'all that's doing all of that. And yes, that is the goal for this channel, is to become a much bigger channel and all other stuff, but keep it grounded in what it is, because I will not be trying to change myself and all the other stuff when I blow up like a lot of these other people out here be doing. But anyway, so yes, so I appreciate y'all. But let me look at the comments. I see Onyx is in here too. They said hello. Ru was notably absent from this Friday's episode of RuPaul's Drag Race in the Workroom. Lawrence came in and told the girls the runway theme for this episode. I think Ru has about 3 seasons left in him. Oh, you think she she exhausted? That's what I say. It may be time for them to start bringing in new queens and having them take over. Because, Ru can't do this forever. And as big as Drag Race is, I just don't see them just being like, America's Next Top Model and all these other shows, that when it's time for Rue to sashay away, the franchise, I don't think it is. There's way too much money to be made in this franchise. They just got to find somebody who actually has the ability to have a personality to carry the show once RuPaul steps down. And I don't know necessarily if Michelle Visage has that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I enjoyed watching her when she was on um, Down Under, which I have to say, that was this season that she was hosting was the first time I actually watched a complete season of Down Under. I could never get through that damn show after like maybe one or two episodes. It was difficult. And I don't know if it was the budget. I don't know if it was the show. I don't know if the way it was producing it. I don't know if maybe RuPaul wasn't that checked in, but it was just like, it wasn't giving. But I just loved how Michelle came at it from a different angle. But as far as like the main franchise, I don't know, maybe bring in a drag race icon to take it over. I would love to see a Bianca Del Rio, but I just think she's a little too edgy to be able to carry that show. I don't know, maybe bring in a Bob the Drag Queen, maybe a I don't know, one of the popular girls. Who I was like, who else? Maybe Trixie Mattel. I know you don't particularly care for her, but she might be interesting enough. I don't know. I have to come back and look and think about who I would think would be a good girl to come in and take over. I mean, a good choice to come in and take over. But oh, you probably talking about based off of going back to this question. I think you going to based off of the 10-minute, what was it, the sneak peek of the new episode. I didn't watch it because I was like, I'm gonna just wait till Friday. But um we'll see. I think he'll stop hosting after a milestone season, such as the 20 or 25th season. Yeah, I could definitely see that happening. Bianca, I mean, look, if I had the opportunity and I was doing my show, I ain't leaving. I'm gonna be sharp as a whip. I'm gonna be working my ass. I'm doing my brain workouts. Bianca's always been the ideal Rue replacement for me out of all the Rue girls. She's a standout. And yeah, I think she could, on TV, she could definitely play ball. She can be funny. She can definitely bring, breathe some new energy and life into the show. I also think that Bianca is someone who definitely can come with the jokes and the roasts and doing the roast challenges and all other stuff, as well as she definitely has like this motherly spirit to her. Like we've seen that when it was on her season, how she would be like the cold, one-liner, shady queen, but also when it came down to the girls, um, she she would give you the shirt off her back. So I definitely would think that Bianca Del Rio would be a good choice to host the show because she could walk that fine line. So I definitely would like to see her. I just think like I don't know, maybe in my head I just thought like, look, she could differentiate herself from like doing the stand-up stuff that she does on the road, that unfiltered side, and then come in and do the more polished network TV side of herself. So I don't think anybody would object if they were like, well, RuPaul is stepping down from RuPaul's Drag Race. He'll remain an executive producer, but now we're bringing in Bianca Del Rio. Bianca Del Rio is still young enough. What is she, in her late 40s? So she's still, or I think she might be in her 50s now, but it's like, she's still young enough. Paul was, I think, in his late 40s when he started hosting Drag Race. Driver C says Black Panther was a horrible movie. Well, that's subjective. um, Hello, Luigi trials delayed because the fan base in fear of jury nullification, meaning they know and expect another O.J. Simpson. We know he did it, but morally can't give him not guilty. Well, look, they can't keep somebody in jail just because y'all already know you're predicting what the outcome is going to be. So they need to figure it out. The casual American Drag Race fans that don't have the BBC network on cable and can't watch the British franchise don't know who Lawrence Chaney. Yeah, I mean she is a stand favorite. I like Lawrence Chaney. She's on that ski trip show that they have on World of Wonder. And I mean it's like I like her, but it's like, oh, so you're basically saying, yeah, outside of the franchise, yeah, I don't think most people really know who Lawrence Chaney is unless you're like someone who's a hardcore RuPaul Drag Race fan. But as far as Bianca Del Rio hosting, it's like, yeah, the people know who she is because she is worldwide. She travels around the world to do her stand up. So now you know damn well Vanessa Del Rio is not hosting no freaking Drag Race. I think that's probably where Bianca got the joke from or the name. I don't have any thoughts on that right now because I'm still trying to wrap my head around what the hell's going on with that whole situation. So I'll probably have a much better understanding of what's going on with Justin Trudeau tomorrow. But right now, it's just like it's like he's resigning, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? And I know a friend of mine, somebody moving to Canada. I'm like, okay, sis, you think this the right time? They don't pay for RuPaul's streaming service. She needs to license it to Paramount Plus. Wait, they don't pay for RuPaul's streaming service. What are you talking about? World of Wonder? Well, I mean, on Wow Presents Plus, actually, Wow Presents Plus, I I use a friend of mine's because I was like, I'm not paying for another damn streaming service. So I use his to watch a lot of the drag race shows and all the other shows that they have on there, which I know some people was like, I don't know why they didn't just take over Logo and just turn Logo into the Wow Presents Plus channel. That's what Fenton Bailey and Randy Barbato should have did. Those are Rue's partners that he's been with since the very beginning. They met like back in the day in the clubs. So ever since, and then that's when they built the empire and started creating all this content, like the Behind the Eyes of Tammy Faye. They were behind that. They did Party Monster, the documentary and the movie. They did a bunch of other stuff. So I've always been a follower of World of Wonder for years until they got into the whole reality TV space. And then they created the show and all the other stuff. And now they've got all the different spin-offs and this and that and this things of that nature. And I really feel like that's what they should have did, was really put energy into that. But Paramount Plus, the only thing they have going on over there is old episodes of Drag Race. I don't understand why they don't have old episodes of Untucked. They need to put that on there. I think it starts at season 9 and then up until now. So I hate the fact that I can't watch the old Untucked because those were the best ones. And the only way I see those is people who do like their YouTube videos where they cut together like the best ofs or favorite moments and all this. So that's the only way I get to see the old Untucked. I do think the old ones, if I'm not mistaken, I remember at one point they were on Hulu, but now I think like when you go and you look for it, you got to pay for it. I'm not paying for old episodes of Untucked. I want to be able to watch the old ones and reminisce. So I'd just be rewatching all the old shows to refresh the brain. But the only thing that you can get on Paramount Plus is you get you'll get season 17, but you probably gotta wait till like the summer or maybe even fall to see season 17 once it's done. But then when All Stars comes on, All Stars is specifically licensed to Paramount Plus. He said, "Oh, the untold episodes of season 7, 8, now are they? Okay, I'll just have to check that out." But anyway, so hold on. Let's get right into the show. And let me hit my banner. And let's get into the SAG Awards. So the SAG Awards nominations were revealed, I believe, this morning. So on January 8th, which is this morning, as I said, SAG-AFTRA revealed the nominees for the 31st annual Screen Actors Guild Awards. I could have sworn that the SAG Awards, I don't know why I thought the SAG Awards was older than 31 years, but apparently that's how long they've been around, 3 decades. So originally, Joey King and Cooper Koch were set to announce the nominations, but it was canceled because, LA is apparently on fire. So they had to cancel it. So according to SAG-AFTRA, the group's 122,000 plus membership of performers marks the largest voting body of any award show. Now, as previously announced, Jane Fonda is said to be honored with the SAG Lifetime Achievement Award, becoming the 60th recipient of the ceremony's highest tribute. Now, Kristen Bell will host the SAG Awards, which will stream live on Netflix on Sunday, February 23rd at 8 p.m. Eastern Time from the Shrine Auditorium at Expo Hall in Los Angeles. Well, that's if it's still around by the time they put out this damn fire. Now, Bell, who's 44, previously hosted the show in 2018. So we do have a complete list. We're not going to go through all of them. Just like when I get to the NAACP Image Awards, I got so overwhelmed with anxiety looking at that list. I'm like, child, I'm not going to be here for 5 hours reading every last one of those damn nominees. So I'm going to have to go through those ones meticulously. But in this case, we're going to just go through a couple of them. So outstanding performance by a male actor in a lead role: Adrian Brody for The Brutalist, Timothy Chalamet, A Complete Unknown, Daniel Craig for Queer, Coleman Domingo for Sing Sing, and Ray Fiennes for Conclave. I'm not even gonna decide to figure out like who should get those nominations. The only movie on this list that I saw was Conclave. I haven't seen Sing Sing. I haven't seen Queer, although Queer is about to be released on digital. So I'm gonna just wait until that gets released and then I'm gonna watch it. Sidebar, I heard a rumor that's floating around before we get to the rest of the nominees that Luca Guadagnino, remember they said he was supposed to be filming a remake of American Psycho. Well, apparently people are running around saying that's fake news. So I need to look further into that because I've been seeing a couple of the blogs saying like, yeah, they said that I don't know what you heard from there, but that's not the true tea. So now, outstanding performance by a female actor in the lead role: Pamela Anderson, The Last Showgirl; Cynthia Erivo for Wicked; Carla Sofia Gascon for Emilia Perez; Mikey Madison for Honora; and Demi Moore for The Substance. Oh my God, that one's going to be a hard one because there's so many good performances in all of those. Like Pamela Anderson's getting rave reviews for her performance. We already know the oversaturation of Wicked and Cynthia Erivo and all of that other stuff that we keep hearing. Like y'all just trying to shove that damn movie down our throat. Carla Sofia Gascon, with Emilia Perez, that's been getting a lot of rumblings, and they just won big over at the what is it? The critics, no, not Critics Choice. What was the damn award show that just ended the other day? The was it People's? No, it wasn't. I don't know why I cannot think of the damn show off the top of my head. The award show that just ended, where they just sit at the damn table that what's the name just hosted. Um, Whatever. It just escapes my damn brain. Golden Globes. Thank you. I don't know why I cannot think of that. So outstanding performance by a male actor in a supporting role: Jonathan Bailey for Wicked; Yura Borisov for Honora; Kieran Culkin for Real Pain; Edward Norton, A Complete Unknown; Jeremy Strong, The Apprentice. Outstanding performance by a female actor in a supporting role: Monica Barbaro, A Complete Unknown; Jamie Lee Curtis for The Last Showgirl; Danielle Deadweiler for The Piano Lesson; Ariana Grande for Wicked; and Zoe Saldana for Emilia Perez. Now, a standing performance by a cast in a motion picture goes to A Complete Unknown, Honora, Conclave, Emilia Perez, and Wicked. Now, in the TV stratosphere, they have outstanding performance by a male actor in a television movie or limited series: Javier Bardem for Monsters, the Lyle and Eric Menendez story; Colin Farrell for The Penguin; Richard Gadd, Baby Reindeer; Kevin Kline for Disclaimer; and Andrew Scott for Ripley. You know what? Shout out to Colin Farrell for giving a shout out to Andrew Scott at the Golden Globes. And I have to also say, I loved Colin Farrell's speech over at the Golden Globes, when he even thanked the woman in craft services. I was cackling when he did that. But it just goes to show, like, you know what? He really appreciates the people because, they shot it in New York. Um, he really appreciates being on set, the crew, and all other stuff. I even heard one time he even rented out a pub for a rap party for the entire crew. So I love people who really take care of their entire team and doesn't sit up in their trailer acting like they shits don't stink and all the other stuff. So I love people like, when I hear great things about people like Colin Farrell and Keanu Reeves and so many others that are in the industry that really look out and appreciate, every role that they get. But out of this whole list, no shade, I actually want Colin Farrell to win because not only the prosthetics and the hours, he said it took 3 hours and he listened to 80s music as they were using him as this blank canvas and creating this, this look of Oswald Cobblepot. And not only see him transform into the Penguin and what he brought to that role, as well as Kristen Milotti and Renzi Felice, who I just thought like was phenomenal as Victor. And I loved Kristen Milotti, in her role as well, which she did get a nomination. We'll get to that in a second. It was just such a great show, well acted. The scripts were just impeccable. So I'm really just like Team Penguin all the way. So now, outstanding performance by a female actor in a television movie or limited series: Kathy Bates, the great Lillian Hall. But y'all didn't nominate her for Matlock? She getting good reviews on that. Kate Blanchett for Disclaimer, Jodie Foster for True Detective Night Country, Lily Gladstone Under the Bridge, Jessica Gunning for Baby Reindeer, and Kristen Milotti for The Penguin. Now, as much as I love me some, I haven't watched a lot of those shows. The only show that I did watch The Penguin, I did watch Baby Reindeer, and I did watch True Detective Night Country. And while I thought Jodie Foster did a phenomenal job in True Detective, and she just won the Golden Globe over Kristen Milotti, I'm sincerely, no shade, I really want Kristen to get it. I thought she did a phenomenal job in the role that she played in The Penguin. And so I would love to see her win. And she's been around for a long time. So for her to finally get her recognition as an actor amongst her peers, I think would be great. And look, Jodie Foster been around since, she's been an infant working in Hollywood. She's won enough awards. Let's spread the love and give it to, I know it's just like, well, not saying that she didn't do a great job in the role, but I really want Kristen Milotti to get it. Outstanding performance by a male actor in a drama series, Tadanobu Asano for Shogun, Jeff Bridges in The Old Man, Gary Oldman for Slow Horses, Eddie Redmayne in The Day of the Jackal, and Hiroyuki Sanada for Shogun. This is a strong one. I love Shogun. I love The Day of the Jackal. I thought Eddie Redmayne did a phenomenal job in the role. And I'm glad it's getting a season 2, even though I know like a lot of people probably haven't seen the show, and definitely check it out if you guys can. But I don't know. Y'all have to figure this one out because between Shogun, Slow Horses, The Old Man, and Day of the Jackal, it's going to be hard to pick who's going to win in that one because there's a lot of strong performances. Now, outstanding performance by a female in a drama series, Kathy Bates. Okay, so now they nominated her for Matlock because it's a drama series versus the other nomination where it was a limited series. So it's Kathy Bates for Matlock, Nicola Coughlan for Bridgerton, Allison Janney for The Diplomat, Kerry Russell for The Diplomat, and Anna Sawai for Shogun. The Diplomat, I have heard, is a really good show. I have not gotten around to watching it yet. I really want to really do want to get around to watching The Diplomat, and one of these days I will get around to it. But right now, I've heard nothing but great things. I've heard Kerry Russell is phenomenal in the role. I've heard that Allison Janney, anything she does is pure excellence anyway. Kathy Bates is good on Matlock. I like her on there. It's going to be a hard one. I don't watch Bridgerton. That is not my zhuzh. So I couldn't tell you what the acting is over there or what that show even does, but apparently a lot of people like it. And if you like it, I love it. And I like Shogun. So, as I said, I don't know. It's going to be hard to pick that one, but good luck. Now, outstanding performance by a male actor in a comedy series, Adam Brody, Nobody Wants This, Ted Danson, sorry, A Man on the Inside, Harrison Ford for Shrinking, Martin Short for Only Murders in the Building, and Jeremy Allen White for The Bear. I feel like Only Murders in the Building, The Bear, always gets nominated every freaking season, and I get it. It's like a favorite amongst people. Shrinking is getting lots of buzz. I know a lot of people talk fairly highly of this series. I haven't gotten around to watching it yet because I have so many shows on my plate at this moment that me trying to get around to Shrinking has been fairly difficult. There's still shows I'm trying to get through on Apple TV as we speak that I have not finished. The Man on the Inside, I've never heard of that show, and Nobody Wants This. First of all, y'all already know I love me some Adam Brody. I've had a huge crush on him ever since I watched The OC. I used to love me some Seth Cohen. And then hearing him on this show now, and then everybody's like, "Him got hot." I'm like, I always thought he was attractive, but I just think like maybe because he's older, he's like less of a dorky type, and it's just, or maybe I guess we can call him adorkable. But I've always found something remotely sexy about him. I don't know. I have a thing for nerdy boys anyway, so my taste is all over the place. So, outstanding performance by a female actor in a drama series, Kristen Bell, Nobody Wants This, Quinta Brunson for Abbott Elementary, Liza Colon Zayas for The Bear, I like her, Ayo Edebiri for The Bear, and Jean Smart for Hacks. This is going to be a hard one. I'm not even going to try to figure out who should win it. Outstanding performance by ensemble in a drama series, Bridgerton, The Day of the Jackal, The Diplomat, Shogun, and Slow Horses. Now, they also had a category in here that I thought was really cool. And I'm like, well, if y'all could actually do this for SAG, why the hell can't y'all do this for okay, so now it's playing. Let's try that again. I said, if y'all could do this for SAG, why can't y'all do this for the Oscars? Because I've heard so many excuses. Oh, we can't do a stunt category because it's gonna be harder to decipher it. But SAG just figured out a way to come up with a stunt category. So if they can figure it out, then why can't the Academy? There's no excuse anymore. So they have two stunt categories. So it's outstanding action performance by a stunt ensemble in a motion picture. Deadpool and Wolverine, Dune Part 2, The Fall Guy, Gladiator 2, and Wicked. As much as and I've seen every movie on this list except Gladiator 2 and Wicked. I haven't gotten around to seeing those. However, I honestly think, and even though it didn't really do that well at the box office, I think it needs to go to The Fall Guy. And only because The Fall Guy was about a stunt man and it was about stunts and the stunt community and all the people that were contributing to that. So I feel like on by default, the Fall Guy should get it because it was a movie about stunts. And when we get it, we're gonna get more movies down the. I mean, we're always gonna, I think, have movies that require stunts and stuff. So if you're gonna give an award, it needs to be like an ensemble because it takes a village to do the whole stunt situation. So in my opinion, I feel like it needs to go to the Fall Guy. I know a lot of people probably think, oh yeah, Dune 2 should get it because there were some really cool fight sequences and stuff that was up in there, and then Deadpool and Wolverine because it's Deadpool and Wolverine. However, because the Fall Guy and what it represents, I think it should go to that as the winner. Now, outstanding action performance by a stunt ensemble and intelligence series. They have The Boys, Fallout, House of the Dragon, The Penguin, and Shogun. This is going to be a hard one because, first of all, I have a love-hate relationship with The Boys, but I will say this: the action sequences, the fight choreography, all the stunts, all that stuff in there, I do pretty much enjoy that part of the show. Even though there's parts of the show that irritates my entire spirit, but for the most part, they do well with that. Fallout, I relatively enjoyed that show. House of the Dragon, besides that finale, y'all irritated my entire spirit. I thoroughly enjoyed the show, but the lead up to the finale, I was like, okay, y'all playing in my face. So I don't even want y'all to get it on account of that. The Penguin, I thoroughly enjoyed, although in regards of like the stunt ensemble action type stuff, there were moments in there, but I don't feel like it gave enough for for it to even win. But Shogun, yeah, there was some the way that the whole canvas, the whole overall look, ensemble, action, everything that went along with Shogun was so good. So I don't know. I think it's going to be a toss up between The Boys and Shogun, in my opinion. So that's all we have right now in regards of the SAG Awards. And so I want to hear from you guys. What do you think of the nominations in regards of the SAG Awards? And would you like to see walk away with the award this year? Let me know in the comments down below. Okay, so now let's get to the comments. Mhm. You said they don't. Oh, I read that already. Let me say Oh yeah, I read that already. MySpace is friend. And I've seen it because a lot of my friends are saying, even with some of my friends, even though my friend, I've had a couple of my friends. I guess is what I'm trying to say. It's like I can't talk today all of a sudden. Who were like, oh yeah, we this is like be a great time to bring back MySpace because where we're going with Meta and all that other foolishness. And I kind of agree. It's like I used to love MySpace, but yeah, your top friends and all that other stuff. And now you got Mark Zuckerberg out here about to bend the knee over. I just can't with him. Y'all already know I never particularly cared for him. And I don't know why people are surprised because to be honest, Facebook is basically Twitter for boomers. Like I never thought that it was a place that people who thought logically in that way felt like it would be a safe space. A lot of the younger kids are not using Meta. They're not even, they're using YouTube, they're using TikTok. That's where they're getting information. They're not going on Facebook. My parents are on Facebook. you know, um, we're still using Facebook because it was a thing that we use and we just haven't gotten rid of it. But a lot of the younger generations, they're not using Facebook, so they can give a rat's ass what's going on over there. So, and then from what I heard, it's like they have the third of the world on Meta. Most of the people who are using Meta are from Indian communities, like from India and stuff. And I'm like, I was shocked with that. And they already have their media suppressed. They're not getting the real news. And that's what a lot of them are trying to do. A lot of these CEOs, a lot of these billionaires are trying to buy up media, and they want to, and he who controls the money controls the narrative. So that's all this is happening. But we'll see how long this lasts, because the midterms is coming up. So we'll see. He's sitting there trying to do all this other stuff now. 2 years from now, we'll see how it is with a lot of people, and if y'all gonna still be willing to put up with the mess. Not negro for yoga. As an after Republicans diss conclave after slamming it as a horror film that slams religion. Did they even watch Conclave? Because Conclave was all about trying to, the Pope died, and it was the conclave of priests in the clergy who had to sit and vote on a Pope, and all the shenanigans that ensued within that. So clearly they didn't sit and watch the damn movie. Felix said it's like when Demi won for The Substance, and she said that this was her win for anything. And then, Michael Musso, shady behind, was like, no, you won a couple of Razzies. So this ain't your first one, but they always try not to count those. The only one I know that did was Halle Berry. So that's why I live for her, that she was just like, no. She owned up to her stuff. Oh, it's funny now. I got people trying to send me stuff about The View. I'm like, hello. I already know that's part of the docket. But I got some breaking news. Apparently, Brandy is writing a memoir. So a friend of mine sent me this, said, writing my memoir was one of the most challenging yet rewarding experiences of my life. Allow myself the space to be fearless and vulnerable to reveal some of my most intimate moments. For the first time, I am sharing my story honest, unfiltered, and not through the lens of media and critics. From singing in church as a little girl in Macomb, Mississippi, touring across the world, starring in as Moesha, and becoming the first Black Cinderella, I've experienced unforgettable highs, but what you didn't see were the struggles behind the scenes, the trials that tested my spirit and shaped the woman I am today. The memoir is more than a book. It's a reflection of resilience, hope, and rediscovering myself beyond the fame, the music, and the spotlight. This memoir is a lifetime in the making, and I hope my words bring inspiration as you navigate your own journey. Coming October 7th, 2025. So I'm here for it. All right, niece, you better work. She putting on her Louboutins. Remember when she originally sang that song, and then Jennifer Lopez, per usual, got her hands on it? So I'm actually here for that. That Brandy is writing her own memoir, because I think one of the main criticism, one of my friends actually said, I wonder what she's gonna say about Monica. I mean, child, quiet as a skip. I'm curious too. So so one of my yeah, because I'm like, there's been so many things about, Brandy over the years, the squeaky clean cleanliness of her career. And I understand she had a lot on her shoulders, which, like I said with Beyonce, when she had this certain image that she was putting out there, it allowed Solange to kind of go off and do her own thing as like more of an edgier artist. Whereas Beyonce always had the color within the lines of being a pop star until she got big enough that she can kind of go off and do her own experimental thing. Same thing with Ray J. It was like Ray J was trying to make it in the industry, but then he wasn't really hacking it. Brandy was the bigger star, so he started going on doing sex tapes with Kim Kardashian, trying to be this whole edgy, yo, I'm a thug type of situation, and was trying to work on that whole situation. And I was like, okay, so now you are being the more rebellious one. Brandy had to perpetuate a certain image in the industry, and behind the scenes, she out here pretending she married when she wasn't, and got knocked up out of wedlock, the whole, and then all the other drama that was going on behind the scenes. So it'd be interesting to hear her story in her own words. It's been a long time coming. So yeah, but in regards to answering your question, because after got that breaking news, Demi winning for The Substance was, I think, a good thing, not only for her, but also for the horror community. And I already know, like, if y'all notice, they're not nominating The Substance because these snobs are pretty much all about, like, oh, we don't do body horror, we don't do all that other stuff. They don't want to acknowledge those type of films. But in regards to the performance, they'll honor that, which I find kind of I mean, which I like, but I'm like, I just don't like the whole pretentiousness of it all. I'm screaming. So I'm reading this thing where it said Mexico president tells Trump he should rename the U.S. Mexican America. It said you want to talk about history and all that other stuff. He don't know nothing about nothing. And I tell you, this country is getting stupid about a minute. So Robert says not only Monica, but the car accident that led to her being canceled despite being found not guilty after the investigation, as the other driver was at fault for being too high on the ganja. Yeah, so look, there's a lot of things that she's got to address. So yeah, they said I can't wait to see what she says about Ray J and Monica, because yeah, she needs to talk about them too. And it's funny how like I got people sending me messages about the View. It's like I said before, it's like I know it's one of my hot topics. So now, let's move on and let's get into the NAACP Image Award. So the nominations for that came out because I told you we are knee deep in award season. So the 2025 NAACP Image Award nominations were announced. Actually, they were announced yesterday. I don't know how I missed that. That's probably because there was a lot going on, and from the looks of things, the nominations are pretty stacked. And I was like, I'm not going through all of these. I could go through the SAG Awards because it wasn't a whole lot. But here it's like, okay, y'all blow mine. So I'm like, I'm not going through it. I might have to pick a couple of them and just go through it. So the NAACP Image nominations have been revealed, and Wicked star Cynthia Erivo, multi-hyphenate Keke Palmer, rapper Kendrick Lamar, comedian, why? I mean, y'all should put that loosely, Kevin Hart, and NFL Hall of Fame broadcaster Shannon Sharp are competing for Entertainer of the Year. Now, the winner of the prestigious award will be announced on February 22nd during the 2-hour live broadcast of the 56th NAACP Image Awards from the Pasadena Civic Center, airing on BET and CBS. The theme for this year's show, Our Stories, Our Culture, Our Excellence. A host is yet to be announced, though Queen Latifah emceed the previous two ceremonies. The Piano Lesson leads the motion picture category with 14 nominations, including recognition for director Malcolm Washington which is actually the son of Denzel, and stars Denzel's other son, John David Washington, Danielle Deadweiler, Samuel L. Jackson, Corey Hawkins, and Skylar Elise Smith. The Netflix movie was nominated for Outstanding Motion Picture alongside Sony's Bad Boys Ride or Die, Paramount's Bob Marley One Love, Netflix's The 688, and Universal's Wicked. Hold on. So it was like I lost my place now. Now, Fight Night, the $1 Million Heist, leads across the television categories with 9 nominations, including recognition for stars Hart, Don Cheadle, Jackson, Taraji P. Henson, and Terrence Howard. Ayo Edebiri is the most nominated performer with 5. She leads the television and streaming categories with 3 nods for her role in The Bear, including one for directing her first episode and one for guest hosting SNL, plus a nomination for Outstanding Voiceover for Inside Out 2. Palmer follows with 4 nominations, Entertainer of the Year as the host of Password for her voiceover performance in The Second Best Hospital in the Galaxy, and for her podcast, Baby, This is Keke Palmer. Now, other multiple nominees include Anjanou Ellis Taylor with nominations for Nickel Boys, Exhibiting Forgiveness, and The Supremes at Earl's All You Can Eat. Henson, Fight Night, hosting the 2024 BET Awards, and her children's book, You Could Be a Good Friend No Matter What. Coleman Domingo for Sing Sing and the Madness. Kerry Washington for 688 and Unprisoned, which was just canceled, the latter. Lupita Nyong'o for A Quiet Place Day 1 and The Wild Robot. Angela Bassett for 911 and her voiceover role in Orion in the Dark. David Alan Grier for the American Society of Magical Negroes and St. Denis Medical. Sanaa Lathan for Supremes at Earl's All You Can Eat and Young, Wild, and Free. Cree Summer for Abbott Elementary and her voiceover roles in Rugrats and The Legend of Vox Machina. And Aaron Pierre for Rebel Ridge and Mufasa, The Lion King. Now, you know what? I feel like I'm going to just read this and not go through the whole category because Chad will be here all day. So, In the music category, GloRilla received the most nominations with 6, including Outstanding New Artist, followed closely by Doechii, Kendrick Lamar, and Usher, who earned 4 nods apiece. Beyonce landed 3 nominations for her Cowboy Carter album. The Image Awards nominations were announced on CBS Mornings by singer and actor Chloe Bailey, who nabbed the nomination for Outstanding Music Video / Visual Album for Boy Bye, and NAACP President and CEO Derek Johnson, and on YouTube by actor Novi Brown and musician and Grownish alum Trevor Jackson. Saying the quote, "We look forward to celebrating the brilliance of Black talent and creativity whose stories shape culture, ignite change, and inspire generations." This is what Johnson said in a statement about the nominations. Through film, music, literature, and more, their voices weave a rich tapestry that honors our heritage, celebrates our identity, and proves that storytelling is a powerful force for driving true progress. Added Scott Mills, president and CEO of BET Media Group, the NAACP Image Awards stand as a testament to the brilliance, resilience, and impact of Black creatives, innovators, and change makers. BET is proud to continue our long-standing partnership with the NAACP to celebrate Black excellence in all forms. Together, we shine a light on the stories, voices, and artistry that shape culture and drive progress. Now, in addition to the main telecast, NAACP will also recognize winners in non-televised categories at the NAACP Image Creative Honor Ceremonies on Friday, February 21st, which will stream on NAACPImageAwards.net. So we'll go through a couple of them and see what's what. So now, NAACP Entertainer of the Year nominee includes Cynthia Erivo, Keke Palmer, Kendrick Lamar, Kevin Hart, and Shannon Sharp. Outstanding Social Media Personality of the Year nominees: Kai Cenat, Keith Lee, Rayshonda Lias, Shirley Raines, and Tony Baker. Motion picture categories: Outstanding Motion Picture, Bad Boys Ride or Die, Bob Marley One Love, The Piano Lesson from Netflix, The 688 from Netflix, and Wicked from Universal Pictures. Outstanding Actor in a Motion Picture, Andre Holland, Exhibiting Forgiveness. We have Cohen Domingo from Sing Sing, John David Washington, The Piano Lesson, Kingsley Ben Adir from Bob Marley One Love, and Martin Lawrence from Bad Boys Ride or Die. Now, Outstanding Actress, Cynthia Erivo from Wicked, Kerry Washington, 6888, Lashana Lynch from Bob Marley One Love, Lupita Nyong'o from A Quiet Place Day One, and Regina King from Shirley. Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Motion Picture, Brian Tyree Henry, The Fire Inside, Corey Hawkins, The Piano Lesson, David Alan Grier, The American Society of Magical Negroes, Denzel Washington, Gladiator 2, and Samuel L. Jackson for Piano Lesson. Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Motion Picture, Anjanou Ellis-Taylor, Exhibiting Forgiveness, Anjanou Ellis-Taylor from Nickel Boys, Danielle Deadwyler, The Piano Lesson, Ebony Obsidian from the 688, and Lynn Whitfield from Albany Road. Now, hold on, because I want to sit and go down to the music. I love music, any kind of music. Because now they're going into books. Oh, they got TV and streaming categories. Let's go into that, and then we'll do the music. Now, TV and streaming categories: Outstanding Comedy Series, Abbott Elementary, How to Die Alone, Papa's House, The Neighborhood, and The Upshaws. Outstanding Actor in a Comedy Series: Cedric the Entertainer for The Neighborhood, Damon Wayans for Papa's House, David Alan Grier for St. Denis Medical, Delroy Lindo, Unprisoned, and Mike Epps for The Upshaws. Now, Outstanding Actress in the Comedy Series: Ayo Edebiri for The Bear, Kerry Washington for Unprisoned, Natasha Rothwell for How to Die Alone, Quinta Brunson, Abbott Elementary, and Tashina Arnold from The Neighborhood. Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Comedy Series: Damon Wayans Jr., Papa's House, Giancarlo Esposito from The Gentleman, Kenan Thompson, Saturday Night Live, Tyler James Williams from Abbott Elementary, and William Stanford Davis from Abbott Elementary. Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Comedy Series: Danielle Pinnock for Ghosts, Ego Nwodim from SNL, Janelle James from Abbott Elementary, Cheryl Lee Ralph from Abbott Elementary, and Wanda Sykes for The Upshaws. Now, Outstanding Drama Series: 911, Bel Air, Cross, Found, and Reasonable Doubt. I heard that Bel Air that's going into their final season whenever that airs. I like 911. Cross was actually good. Found and Reasonable Doubt. I have yet to get around to watching those shows, but I like the damn, I forgot her name. The girl from Found. The girl, she used to be on Shameless. Outstanding actor in a drama series, Aldous Hodge for Cross, Donald Glover for Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Harold Perrineau from, which is, I love that damn show. I did not like Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I do like Cross. Love From, Jabari Banks from Bel Air, and Michael Rainey Jr. from Power Book 2 Ghost. I think they just wrapped that show up, right? Outstanding actress in a drama series, Angela Bassett, 911. Amayatsi Corinaldi from Reasonable Doubt. Say that 10 times fast. Queen Latifah from The Equalizer. Shanola Hampton, that's her name. Shanola Hampton from Found, and Zoe Saldana from Lioness. Like I said, I haven't got around to watching Found. Love Lioness. If y'all have not seen that show, definitely check it out. It's on Paramount Plus. Of course, Angela Bassett. She can read the phone book, and you already know she's good. I'm not familiar with Reasonable Doubt, and I love me some Queen Latifah. Now, outstanding supporting actor in the drama series, Adrian Holmes, Bel Air, Cliff Method Man Smith from Power Book 2 Ghost, Isaiah Mustafa from Cross, Jacob Lattimore, The Shy, and Morris Chestnut from Reasonable Doubt. Oh, that's why, because I think it's a new series, actually. Outstanding supporting actress in a drama series, Adoja Ando from Bridgerton, Coco Jones, Bel Air, Golda Rochouval from Bridgerton, Lorraine Toussaint, The Equalizer, and Lit Whitfield for The Shy. Okay, so now let's get to the music because it's just going too much into TV. Where's that? Where's that? Oh, they got talk shows. Outstanding talk series, Heart to Heart. You already know I can't stand Kevin Hart, so we can cross that out. Sherry for Sherry Shepherd. She didn't reveal that on her show yesterday. She was nominated, or the day before, whenever she found out the nomination. The Tamara Hall Show, the Jennifer Hudson Show, and the Shop Season 7. The Shop Season 7 is on YouTube, actually. Now, outstanding reality program, reality competition, a game show, Celebrity Family Feud, Password, Rhythm and Flow, The Real Housewives of Potomac, and Tia Marry My Next Act. Outstanding Variety Show Series of Special, BET Awards 2024, Dion Cole, OK Mister, Jamie Foxx, What Happened Was, Cat Williams, Woke Folk, SNL. Question, why is the RuPaul's Drag Race on here? Is it because it's hosted by a Black homos? Because if y'all doing reality program, reality competition, or whatever the case is, RuPaul's Drag Race should be on there. But because it is a competition series and it's hosted by someone who's Black. And this is why I know like people get mad when they try to throw race or whatever behind Drag Race. But I'm sitting there like, you want to know something? If the Black community is not going to rally behind Black queer folks, then why do you think they go to the white spaces? Because of what they're celebrated over there. Whereas Black folks want to gatekeep in certain situations. Y'all thought y'all ate by giving Lil Nas X a little platform to do his little thing on the show? Only for him to pull a Adam Lambert and make out with the guy up on there. Yeah, I was trying to double check and make sure because I'm seeing other show stuff on here. Yeah, I do not see RuPaul's Drag Race, none of that mentioned up in here. Okay, I don't care about voiceover. I don't care about none of that stuff. Okay, now we can get to the recording stuff. Then we can get off this. I told you this was going to be a long one. I didn't want it to be, but it is. Outstanding. So in the recording category, outstanding new artists, Doechii, Miles Smith, Samote, Shabuzi, and Tyler. First of all, I ain't heard of half of these people. Okay, y'all already know Tyler irritates my spirit with her attitude. Shabuzi, cute or whatever. I have never heard of no Samote, or however the hell you say his name. I don't know nobody, no Miles Smith, and I do know Doechii, so I give it to her. Well, I guess because they're saying they're new. Outstanding male artists, Chris Brown, J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, October London, and Usher. What's Mega Gamma? Is that a new label or something or another? Because I never heard of them. That's apparently the one that Usher's on. Maybe he's a distributing artist or whatever. Outstanding female artists, Beyonce, Coco Jones, Doechii, GloRilla, and Her. Outstanding gospel Christian album, Don't Care. Outstanding international song, Don't Care. Outstanding music video, All Right, Victoria Monet, Alter Ego from Doechii, Boy Bye, Chloe Bailey, Not Like Us, Kendrick Lamar, and Yeah, Glow from GloRilla. Outstanding album, Alligator Bites Never Heal from Doechii, Cape Town to Cairo, PJ Morton, Coming Home, Usher, Cowboy Carter, Beyonce, and Glorious from GloRilla. And I think we'll pretty much just hold on, stop it there. Because I'm like, okay, I don't want to be here all day talking about this. So yeah, so far that's all we have from the NAACP awards that I'm going to go through. If you want to see the rest, it is on my website and on other social media platforms. So I say all this to say, what do you guys think of this story in regards to the NAACP Image Award nominations? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below. The Silence of the Lambs is technically horror, but MGM was able to market it as a drama to win Best Picture. Yeah, I've talked about that in the show. They'll do it like they'll call it a thriller, a psychological thriller, and it's a horror film. So, but y'all try to find ways to curtail around it. But I just think that the subject matter and everything that you see in the substance, they can't even try to market that as like a thriller, whatever. It is full on body horror. So you can't get around you can't get around that loophole with the substance. You probably could if Longer Legs was good enough to be nominated for an Oscar, because some people said that is similar to Silence of the Lambs. Oh, the Canada Prime Minister is dragging Trump, saying politics isn't entertainment. Or for trolls, we can ban you from entering and demand you pay for a wall to be built. Mexico is charging you $1 trillion for a wall, the choice is yours. That pissed Trump off. Keep Trump. You know what? He just thinks that he could just control the world. I can't stand him. And this is like, so it sounds like Meta and X are being banned in Canada and Europe to keep the citizens safe from misinformation and bullying. Well, that's what it just comes for the most. Well, me, I already know I'm good. Like, I do research on stuff. So, but everybody else, good luck. I don't got time to be sitting out here trying to feed y'all the stuff. And that way, then they push you down the bottom of the thing because they want to keep things a certain way. It's just like, y'all just want the dumbing down of America. European Union basically told Meta to put back the fact checkers or face a permanent ban. Well, look, they banned Twitter in certain places, right? So clearly, what's that boy name? Mark Zuckerberg didn't think about the long run when it came to doing what he does. It's like everybody's scared of Trump. What you gonna do? Beat y'all ass? But anyway, let's move on. And let's talk about Scream 7, which has officially begun filming yesterday. So today is day 2. I did make the like happy Scream day. They officially started filming. And the reason why I'm bringing this story up today is because Kevin Williamson basically took to Instagram to post you know, to let it be known that it's the official, like they've officially begun filming and how everything went smoothly, that sort of thing. Now, the one thing I will say before I get to the story is that I love how this, the scream actually looks. The blood splatter across the scream words. And then we actually have the number 7. So now we have an idea of what it's all supposed to look like in regards to like the title. So one of the things I did not know is that one of the reasons they were trying to say the reason why Jenna Ortega didn't come back is because, she was too busy with filming Wednesday and all this other stuff. Well, apparently, according to Joe Blow, they said the rumor that was floating around was that she wanted more money and they weren't willing to give her that. She wanted a substantial pay raise. And if they weren't going to give Nev Campbell the pay raise, how you thought you was going to come in and get the same type of energy and you was going to get a different result? So that's one of the reasons why allegedly she didn't come back. But you already know the mess. If not, we'll do a quick recap. Scream 7 has been going through it for a while because, we already had issues the minute Spyglass and all y'all came in and the way y'all treated the legacy cast members that went killed off Dewey, pissed off a lot of the legacy fan base. Then you had the nerve to sideline Nev and Courtney. You gave her a little chase sequence in Scream 6. Yay. Applause, applause, applause. But besides that, she was pretty much sidelining all of Scream 6. And then y'all try to play in Nev face, but not wanting to give her a pay raise when she has been a significant part of this franchise well over 2 decades. So she didn't come back for Scream 6. Then when Scream 7 was going on and all this stuff, we were excited to see like where y'all going to go with the Core 4. They decided to put, fire Melissa Barrera because she made comments about some pro-Palestine post on her social media People got pissed off over there at Spyglass. They decided to fire her instead of letting her just have her opinion about things. Meanwhile, propaganda is at an all-time high. We're getting rid of fact-checking over at Meta. All this other stuff. That's okay. But somebody actually want to give information about the overall genocide of what Israel's doing and Netanyahu's doing to Palestinians, brown people over in Palestine. That apparently is a problem to bring up because colonization is in. It's chic, apparently. So she was fired. Then Christopher Landon, was coming in, and I thought that was a great idea because I love a lot of Christopher Landon's movies. I love Freaky. I love, all the films that he's been a part of. And you could definitely tell from a lot of the movies that he's done that he has been deeply inspired by, like, it's got a lot of that Scream DNA in a lot of what his films. So when he was coming on board, I was like, yay, we're getting somebody who understands this world outside of what Wes Craven brought. Because quiet as it's kept, there's no shade to Radio Silence. I love Ready or Not. I even liked Abigail. However, when it came to the Scream stuff, it was a lot of hit and miss. And it just felt a little uneven. I felt like y'all would try. It was cute that y'all were trying to experiment and try different things. But to me, it wasn't really giving me that true essence of Scream. It just felt like y'all were trying to come in, usher in these new kids, which I'm all about. If you got a good idea, I'm willing to go on the ride with you. But the overall disrespect I felt like they were giving the legacy cast while giving all this plot armor to these newbies, I was just side-eyeing the whole thing like, really? Y'all about to play in our face with this? Those of us who've been with the Scream franchise at the beginning, because y'all are all about trying to get young asses in your seat. On top of that, just basically trying to use us veterans that have been a follower of the Scream franchise to come in and support. But y'all were just trying to play in our face when we got to watch the movie, heavily putting Neve Campbell up in the movie, but she was barely in Scream 5. So then after the whole situation, everybody got on social media was Team Melissa Barrera going against Spyglass, and I'm still seeing it. As, he posted this thing that you see, Kevin Williamson posting his first photo off the set. I still see people on Twitter talking about boycott Scream 7. I still see it. The people still out here, team, Melissa Barrera. And that's your prerogative if you want to do that. So Christopher Landon wound up dropping out because they started bullying him and going and threatening his family and all this other stuff. So he decided to walk away. So they've been working on redeveloping it for a while. They've been working on the script. We got Neve Campbell coming back. People getting mad at her. And it's sort of like she's been with the franchise for over 2 decades. How you get mad at her over some girl that was only just starting out in 2 of the damn movies out of the 7? So I didn't understand that logic. But apparently, a lot of y'all apparently did well in math, I guess. So now that we have Kevin Williamson, who wrote the original script and Scream 2, he's officially on board to direct. The last time he directed something, I believe, was Teaching Mrs. Tingle, which was not a good movie, but I'm sure that in the decades since Teaching Mrs. Tingle, he has improved and knows a lot more than he did back then when he was, in the industry. He's had many a year to develop his situation. So what it says in here is that, what is it? Guy Busick crafted the story with his co-writer of the 5th and 6th films. James Vanderbilt, who was a producer on the recent sequels, I believe wrote the script. The Scream 7 is said to come out on February 27, 2026. And Williamson went to IG and posted the following. He said, I'm not supposed to post about Scream, and I hope Spyglass and Paramount will forgive me, but when you have one of the best days of your life, it's really hard to keep it to yourself. What an extraordinary day I had working with an amazing and talented cast and crew. They brought their A game and had my back every step of the way. I'm so very grateful for the opportunity and to Wes Craven, who was on my mind through it all. The profound impact he has on my life and career is endless. What a day. I can't wait for tomorrow. Well, it goes to show, I know some people probably feel like maybe he's on to overcompensate because of all the stuff that's been said about Screaming. There are a lot of people out here who want this franchise to fail. I honestly don't want it to fail. I'm not in the business of wanting to sit around and want to watch a movie fail because I'm team somebody I don't even know. And whatever the politics is that's going on, it's like the world is shifting and there's so much more that we can be doing within our politics instead of worrying about somebody getting fired off of a job. Melissa will be fine. Now, if you choose to use your time to protest against this movie, go ahead and do it. And it does feel like, in a way, it is a desperation on Spyglass's part, because it was like the way y'all treated Nev Campbell. Now y'all having to grovel and beg because you need her to save your franchise, because y'all know it might, because y'all are too afraid to take a risk and be like, let's reboot the franchise again and hope and pray that we can get some sort of fandom to come back. So while you already pissed off the core four fans, maybe we can actually reach out to the other fans, which would be the Nev Campbell fans, the legacy fans. Because at the end of the day, we're the loyal bunch and we're the ones that's going to show up. So I don't understand why y'all would treat us like the redheaded stepchildren. But at the end of the day, you need us to get, to get back in the good graces of the public or to come support this movie. So, we have a part of the cast I already know: Isabel May from Yellowstone, um, McKenna Grace from Ghostbusters, Celeste O'Connor also from Ghostbusters, Asa German from Gen V, The Fablemans, Sam Reckner, Pitch Perfect's Anna Camp, Courtney Cox. We don't know if Patrick Dempsey's coming back. Hopefully he will be. I would love to see him come back. But according to, the rumors in regards of Daniel RPK, ignore the 2025 because the movie's coming out in 2026. I just like this poster, so that's why I put it up in here. Now, according to, the rumors, Daniel RPK claimed that Scream 7 has the following character lineup. It was supposed to be Taylor, who's 17 to 18, Sydney's daughter, Brian, who's 17 to 18, who's Taylor's best friend. But we're hearing that the name actually is not Taylor, it's Tatum. I really hope that's true, but then again, I'm kind of upset that they revealed that, because I would have liked to have gone into this movie and just discovered that and be like, oh, it's a nod to her best friend. And so we have all these different characters in here. There was some Taylor, Logan, who's 17 to 18, Taylor's hot but creepy neighbor with a Ted Bundy vibe. Jennifer, who's in her 40 and 50s, Logan's mom and Sydney's friend. I know some people wanted Kerry Russell to play that part. I would like to have seen her in that too. But we're getting, damn, I forgot the actress's name. That's supposed to be, I might have mentioned her name already, who's supposed to be playing that part of her friend. And I actually don't mind the oh yeah, and I forgot, we got Mason Gooding coming back as Chad Meeks Martin. And here's the thing, I actually am looking for, I know some people are just still mad at Spyglass, but I'm actually looking forward to Hard Eyes. I saw the new trailer yesterday and the movie actually looks pretty good. I hope y'all didn't reveal too much of that movie, but it definitely had that whole Scream-esque vibe to it. But I'm really looking forward to seeing um that movie when it comes out. I'm really looking forward to seeing Hard Eyes. I love My Bloody Valentine, the original, so it's kind of got that vibe as well. And the mask looks pretty cool too, with the eyes that light up, and then he smears the blood on his mouth, and it looks like an all-out crazy movie. I love me some Devin Sawa and some Jordana Brewster, so I'll definitely be there to see that movie when it comes out. But in regards to Scream 7, I'm glad that Kevin Williamson is talking about that he had a great shoot. Hopefully it still goes smoothly. I don't know. I was going to say, I don't know how long they're going to be filming. They're going to be filming up until March. So they got about 2 months to complete shooting on this film. Everybody's out in Atlanta right now. Remember, they shot Scream 2 in Atlanta. So I'm hoping that same energy from Scream 2, which is a good movie as well, can rub off on Scream 7. And we'll finally get and the movie will do well. And then those people who are hating on Scream will eat crow. So I say all this to say, what did y'all think of this story regarding Kevin Williamson announcing that Scream 7 has officially started filming? Sidebar, before I even get to wrap this up, Chris Landon was in the comments. He said, congrats, Kevin. I'm so excited to see the amazing places you take this. And we even got Emily Van Camp. I like her too. Remember, she was in a couple of the MCU movies. She said, so awesome. Celeste O'Connor jumped in the comments. She's on in the movie. She said, congratulations on such a fantastic first day. I'm so proud of us. Scream with RCS said, congratulations, Kevin. You deserve this moment. We have your back. No, yeah, of course, we got people. Justice for Melissa. Another person said, bring Patrick Dempsey back. If he's not willing to sign on, then you can't force him to be in something if things didn't work out the way they worked out. Another person said, well, McKenna Grace jumped in the comments. Another person said, I want to be excited, but man, Melissa got screwed over and simply being a great person. They really handed you a live hand grenade and said, bite it. And this is from Bones and Beyond. They got a blue check mark, so I guess they're important in some way. Barbara Crampton said, yes, congrats, very exciting. Slasher Trash said, go King, I'm so happy for you. So we have a lot of people in the comments who are team Melissa and some that are happy that he's doing this movie. But before we finish, I want to read this one. So somebody said, nah, screw Spyglass Media GR for doing Melissa dirty and Nev before her. This franchise owns my heart, but there are things that are simply bigger than movies. Another person responded to her and said she wasn't good in the movies. In any case, her acting is. I'm like, damn. But then again, look, he's not saying nothing that a lot of other people wasn't saying because quiet as it's kept. A lot of people was saying that they did not think Melissa Barrera brought it in the first Scream 5. Then she came in Scream 6. They gave her a little more to do. And I think that people were like, okay, she stepped it up a little bit more. But to be honest, I'm here for my girl Nev, and I'm not getting so wrapped up in the politics of the movie industry. You know, things happen. Unfortunately, unless you own your own studio, you can do whatever the hell you want. And Melissa will be fine. So I say all this to say to wrap all this up because I was like, let me just look at the comments over there on his page. What do y'all think of this story? Are you excited for a new Scream 7 movie? Or a new Scream movie? I'm pretty much excited. I'm a Scream fan. I'm gonna support this film when it comes out because media. And if and you know, all that good stuff. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. Cheap viewers. Okay, I'm not doing that spam stuff. Okay, so now let's move on. And let's get into this Black Panther news. So it's been floating. This has been a story. This story has been floating around all morning. So I was like, oh, this will be a good topic. So Marvel Studios apparently is rumored to be casting the role of T'Challa. You know, more after, you know, it's been more than, I believe, 5 years since Chadwick Boseman passed away from cancer. So they're at a point now where they're looking to recast the role. And I'm like, I'm here for it. So, according to the Insider, shout out to Screen Rant for this story, Marvel Studios is keeping the door open to recast T'Challa through the multiverse. The report also claims that an actor was offered the role last fall, a couple of months after Robert Downey Jr. was announced to play Doctor Doom in the MCU, but he passed on replacing Black Panther actor Chadwick Boseman in future MCU movies. The report also states that it is unclear whether the new T'Challa will show up in either the next two Avengers films, but with Black Panther 3 confirmed, courtesy of Denzel Washington spilling those beans, T'Challa is likely to be part of it. So the quote here says as follows. With Marvel reshuffling the deck in advance of Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars, and Robert Downey Jr. coming back not as Iron Man but as Doctor Doom, I'm told that the door is firmly open for T'Challa to be recast via the magic of the multiverse. I heard that the actor was I heard that an actor was actually offered the role this past fall, a couple of months after Downey's big reveal at Comic-Con, but they turned it down, not wanting to jeopardize their career momentum by stepping into Boseman's gigantic shoes, which may be too big to fill even for Hollywood's most talented Black actors. Now it's unclear whether T'Challa will appear in Avengers Doomsday or Avengers Secret Wars, but I think it's fair to assume that whoever is cast in the character will reprise the role in Black Panther 3, which has been discussed by everyone from Ryan Coogler to Denzel Washington. Okay, so let's respond to that. I do think that it is time to recast T'Challa. I understand, like, okay, so we're gonna have to make this a black and white thing because race is prominent in this. I think it's because white people, you know, it's easy to just recast something after a movie or a couple of movies. Like they have no problem doing that with James Bond. James Bond, you could do like one or two movies. They've already got a new James Bond in it. Everybody rolls with it. with people of color, because it's such slim pickings in regards of Black entertainment or any kind of, it's superhero, whatever the case is, it's just like it's hard for people to be like, we need to recast the role. It's the same thing even with Blade, which we already know. I don't even know what the hell's going on with that movie. But people had a problem with Mahershala Ali coming out. I'm like, Wesley Snipes cannot play this role forever. We need to be open to allowing other people to come in to play roles. Unfortunately, we lost Chadwick Boseman to cancer. I do think it's time, now that we've had some time between films, that, yeah, you need to introduce a new T'Challa. You could do a multiverse. I was thinking Aldous Hodge. I would like to see him. Or Yahya Abdul-Mateen. But I think Yaya's already about to play another superhero. But look, we've had multitude of actors with one actor play a multitude of superheroes. I always bring this up when it comes to Chris Evans. He played the Human Torch, then he also played Captain America, and then he played Human Torch again in Deadpool and Wolverine. So we've had people in the past who have played a multitude of roles. I think and particularly when it comes to Black people, they're like, oh no, I don't want to do it because I don't want to step on people's toes and I don't want to deal with the wrath of the internet. But it's like, well, what do we do? So we just let Black Panther just be put out of the pasture and die because everybody's so scared of bringing a new actor to play the part? Like, I don't understand it. If we could be so easily okay with white people coming in with a new role, although I know people are still up, got their tits in a damn twist over us getting a new Superman, and they go around, justice for Henry Cavill, blah, blah, blah. That's the Snyder fans that are up his ass about that damn movie. But look, yes, we know he was a good Superman. However, when it comes down to the root of it, those Snyderverse films were just not that great. They weren't. And unfortunately, Henry Cavill being such a good actor and a good Superman, he was dealt a bad hand. It was just right actor, wrong situation, wrong people behind that damn franchise. That's just what it is. Now, in regards to this whole T'Challa thing, they did allude to the fact that we could get another T'Challa, and that was little T'Challa, because remember, Chadwick Boseman, his character, Black Panther, had a kid with Lupita. So why can't they do that? It's like either we go into the multiverse and we pull out another Black Panther, or you do it where you set it up with the son being Black Panther. I know Shuri becomes Black Panther in the comics, and they played into Wakanda Forever. However, I'm sorry, Shuri just did not work for me as Black Panther. It looked like a little boy fighting, like this little 20-pound soaking wet person with this suit on fighting. It just didn't work for me in regards of, Shuri in that whole situation. But I understand in the comics, that's what happens. But one of the things I did like was that Cheo Hodari Coker, I think that's how you say his name, jumped into the conversation. And for those of you who are not familiar with who he is, he was an executive producer of Luke Cage. And he also was a co-writer on Notorious Lowriders. He also worked on Creed 2. So he's definitely someone who's in the industry. And he wrote a long tweet. And here's what he had to say. He said, y'all didn't watch the last movie very carefully. The kid's name at the end is T'Challa, aka T'Challa Jr., allowing for his casting to happen. Not to mention, with the nature of the multiverse, new T'Challa could come from a different timeline, as could a different Jadaka, one whose father wasn't killed by his uncle, or one who wasn't raised in Wakanda. This could also make sense because since the new Fantastic Four movie is set in the 60s and the X-Men are also in an alternate universe, the new T'Challa could come in from that universe. Also imagine I think he meant if. Also imagine if they follow the storyline where Rogue takes Carol Danvers' powers. Infinite possibilities. My pick, Damson Idris. Absolutely amazing in Snowfall, and coming off F1 will have plenty of star power. He's also the same size and stature as Chadwick, and his range is off the charts. If you don't watch all of Snowfall, watch episode 1 and episode 60 back to back. Just those two episodes. The last 15 minutes of episode 60 compared the pilot shows a range that ever my old late friend John Singleton would have been surprised by, and he handpicked Damson. Aldous Hodge will probably get a look, but I also think besides Idris, some Derisu should get a series. I don't know who that is. I have to look him up. Oh, he's from Gangs of London. Okay, I know who that is now. And I actually watched Gangs of London. That was a good show. Actually, I saw that on AMC Plus, but now it's on Netflix if you want to watch that. That show should get a season 3. But yeah, I already said like it's funny how like everybody thought like, okay, Aldous Hodge, yeah, we could definitely see him as like the perfect Black Panther. He'd be able to do that and then also do Cross. But I think that would be perfect. Now, Damson Idris, I didn't even look at him like that, but I'm like, that might be an interesting choice. So thinking about all of this, as I said before, I do think that it would have been too soon to recast T'Challa back in Wakanda Forever. I understand why they did what they did. They unfortunately were handicapped by his sudden death. So it would have been too soon to kind of, oh, let's recast and bring in somebody new. It was a little too soon. A lot of people were feeling away in situations. So Ryan Coogler was stuck between a rock and a hard place. So I don't blame him, even though there's some people out here who say that they don't think that Wakanda Forever was a great movie because it was too much on the tribute and all the other stuff. But it was like, what else was he supposed to do? I'm sure that wasn't the original idea, but because Chadwick Boseman passed away, it's like we have to kind of honor him and we have to have everybody go through that grieving process. And now this is where we unfortunately have to go with this chapter, but we could set it up in a way where we could leave it open for either a future to Black Panther, which we all knew was going to happen eventually, or you bring in somebody where you spin it off as like, you know, he has a son. And now he does. And so they played into that. So y'all can play into that wheelhouse. And yeah, you can pull a Scream 7 and Tom Jump. Why not? And when it comes to Black folks, Black don't crack. So we can have that whole situation where it's like, why am I looking the same? Because Black don't crack. Y'all can put that line up in there and make a little something. Because, a lot of people, you look at people like Angela Bassett and all of them, they still look younger than their actual age. So you can play into that whole situation. And I actually think that it would be a phenomenal idea, in my opinion, if they brought in a new actor. I don't know. I would have to see if Damson Idris could do it. I know they'll probably say like, I was gonna say Dan Kaluuya, but he's already been in there, so now y'all need to bring him in. But yeah, for the most part, I would love to see them recast the part. So I hope Jeff Snyder is right. I'm curious to find out who they were looking at to sign on, because they pretty much said that he wasn't going to come in, and they turned it down. And I guess maybe they thought it was a too soon situation. But I feel like if whoever takes the role, there's going to be this overall, oh, I don't know why, they went and did the part and blah, blah, blah. There's going to be backlash regardless of what you do. But you got to tune out the noise. You can't sit up in here and worry about these incels on social media who are going to bitch and moan about whoever gets casted the part. At some point, we do have to move on, and we have to bring in a new Black Panther, and they have to do their thing. And I think it's either work with the new kid, with the kid. That might be an easier pill to swallow. T'Challa Jr. Multiverse. You're gonna they would have to do a whole complete overhaul in regards to, like, if you do a multiverse, it can't feel like the same Wakanda that we've already gotten. You're gonna have to kind of come up with some creative choices in regards of that. But I say the easier bet is to go with T'Challa Jr., because that's already been set up. It'll be an easier pill to swallow for the fans. And if the incels come out and start bitching, then those people who actually paid attention to Black Panther, the second movie, could come in and be like, well, clearly you wasn't paying attention to this movie because of this, 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 and this. So I think that'll be the easier route to go. But we won't know until Ryan Coogler has a script that's written and they're ready to go into production. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story? As my question you can see at the bottom, is a T'Challa recast the right move for Marvel Studios? And who do you think should play the role of T'Challa? I'm more or less go with T'Challa Jr., and they should go for a younger actor. And we'll see how they're able to push forth with that. So whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below. Onyx says T'Challa seems so scared to Chadwick. I wouldn't want anyone else to reprise the role. Oh, you said sacred. I said scared. I mean, yeah, but you know what? At the end of the day, this is show business. If Black Panther is making a lot of money for Marvel, they're not going to just toss it aside because, oh, this person is this part. They were at the time when they did it. I mean, you could say the same thing about, a lot of people say that about Wesley Snipes and Blade. Well, Wesley Snipes is Blade. Nobody else can play him. Well, we won't know until we watch the movie. And no one has specific ownership over any kind of part. At some point, as creatives, we have to be able to move forward. And I'm not saying you have to come up with your own iteration. It's like, how many different versions of James Bond have we had? And it's like, you capture the essence of James Bond, but you got to be able to bring your own sense of self to that character and not try to mimic what the last person has done, which is always a hard situation for actors to do when they step into a role that was preoccupied by somebody else and they, perform the hell out of that part when they were doing it. Okay, so now we got some The View news, which somebody had to send to me, and I'm like, I already had that on my docket, but apparently we're about to get more episodes of The View because they announced today that the week beginning January 11th, you will be getting The View on your TV screens 7 days a week instead of 5. And I was like, okay, well, hopefully you're not all gonna be talking. I was like, oh no, don't tell me y'all gonna be talking about Donald damn Trump 7 days a week. But according to EW, they said the Hot Topics table will extend its reach to Saturdays and Sundays as the ABC daytime talk show announced Wednesday that it will now air 7 days a week thanks to its new The Weekend View streaming series. The show's Friday panel, including Joy Behar, Sunny Hostin, Sarah Haynes, Anna Navarro, and Alyssa Farah Griffin, will host the new 30-minute weekend edition of The View on the network's ABC News live streaming platform, with moderator Whoopi Goldberg sitting out for the spinoff program as she typically has Fridays off. Now, Haynes announced the news on Wednesday's episode of The View, noting that The Weekend View will debut on Saturday and Sunday mornings beginning this week. The Weekend View will be produced by the same Emmy-winning team that handles the main series and will center on headlines from entertainment and buzzy topics from social media versus The View's politically leaning content. Segments from producer Brian Tedder's Behind the Table podcast will also air throughout the episodes. So this is a way what y'all trying to do? You're trying to use this as a way to promote that behind the views, that podcast that she does with Brian. I'm like, I don't care about that damn show. But I do watch The View. I watch it and I look at it as sheer entertainment. The political stuff they talk about on that show, I just be like side-eyeing the whole time because I'm like, oh please. This is all corporate propaganda. So I don't really watch it for the politics. I just have it on in the background as I'm working. But if they're deciding to go in more of a direction of entertainment news and that sort of thing, and stuff they pull off the social media, which they've been doing anyway on the show, I'll be relatively interested to hear what they talk about. And the women sans Whoopi always seems more engaged whenever they talk about those other topics, whenever they talk about relationship stuff or things they pull off Reddit or entertainment-based things. To me, that seems way more entertaining because Whoopi's so far up in the bubble of being an EGOT and being in Hollywood and stuff. She always seemed like, she don't want to rock the boat. She don't want to say anything, negative or whatever the case is. So she always seemed like she's bored when she's sitting at the table, like she's there for a check. So the good thing about them doing this weekend show is the fact that Whoopi won't be there. And Joy seems like she's well-rounded when she wants to talk about things. She's pretty much game when it comes to any of the hot topic stuff that they talk about at the table, be it politics, pop culture, whatever the case is. And I do feel like one of the things that I've always taken away from whenever I watch a lot of these shows, be it The View or you watch Wendy Williams, which Wendy Williams was good with the hot topics, but she was not good with talking about like social, political, type of stuff. Whenever she would talk about that on her show, she always sounded like an idiot. So one of the things I've always prided myself on, especially if you're going to get into this type of space, you have to be well versed in talking about everything and anything. If there's certain things I'm not good with talking about, I won't talk about it on this show, which is why a lot of times when I do my specific show, I talk about not only pop culture and gossip, but I also talk about movie news. I talk about music. I talk about TV. I talk about everything because I engulf a lot of that stuff. And I grew up engulfing a lot of that stuff. So I feel like that kind of observation trained me for being able to be well-rounded and talk about this stuff. And to me, I always feel like, you know what, it's about time the View starts skewering and talking about other things because y'all been too heavily into the political stuff that it almost becomes a turnoff. When it's like let's bash Donald Trump and all this, and don't get me wrong, I am not a Donald Trump fan, trust and believe, but the constant just talking about it, it's just like doom and gloom and it's stressful. And it's like if I want to get into knowing what's going on with the politics, then I'll go over there and I'll watch Secular Talk with Kyle Kalinske or Sabby Sabs. Um and so if I want to so that way I have my ear to the street of what's going on with politics. But for the most part, it's like I'm here for this idea. Now I'm gonna watch it this weekend and see what they talk about and if it's entertaining enough. If it's not, then I'm gonna tune out. But I was actually thinking when they said this, I thought they was going to hire new people and bring them in just to do like a weekend segment. But that'd be a whole new contract, whole new check, and all the other stuff. But they're letting the women do this show, so I'm wondering how they're doing this. Are they filming this and it's just gonna stream and air, or I mean, on Fridays? Like this is just they're filming Friday's show, which is live, Saturday and Sunday, all in the same day, and then it just airs, or is it going to be live? I may have to go back and read up on that. Did it say that it's going to be live? Because they said it's a 30-minute weekend edition of The View on the network's ABC News. Oh, it says live streaming platform. So if it's just because it's on a live streaming platform, doesn't necessarily mean that they're streaming it live. Because you could record something and then just schedule it to air at a certain time and just post it up. But I guess this is the way of trying to promote the streaming and all that other stuff. Because YouTube, I mean, I think this current season of The View, this is the first time they actually started airing The View on YouTube. Before, they never used to air. They would put clips up and that was it. But now you can watch full episodes up there. I remember Wendy Williams started doing that before all the other shows started doing it. Then now all of a sudden everybody else, well, not everybody, because I was like, Kelly Clarkson should do it, Jennifer Hudson, all of them should be posting their shows live on the YouTube and all that stuff, but they don't. But Sherry does, Wendy Williams did, and now The View does. So I kind of wish Tamara Hall would do the same thing too, but she only posts clips of her show, which is why I always forget to even check it out and see what's going on. So I say this to say, if you're a View fan, what do you think of this news? Are you guys excited to hear that The View is going to be airing 7 days a week instead of 5 days a week? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below. I was like, my phone just finished charging, so I had to like unplug it. Hold on, let me get some water. Some water. You said Jessica Alba and Cash Warren again. Oh, finally. Yeah, look, I've been paying attention. I just didn't care enough to talk about it. That yeah, she's been walking around without her wedding ring. So there's always been rumors about okay, Cash Warren and Jessica Alba are divorcing. So we see. We'll see what happens. But I guess is it official? I think Whoopi needs to leave because I feel the other four better without her. I just need Alyssa to fully come out as a Republican. Isn't she a Republican or does she come out as as an independent? I don't know. Sometimes I get confused with her. She flip flops a lot, so it's hard for me to even know where she stands on things. She's like one of those that's like, okay, you go with a wind blow, and I can't trust people like that. We call them grifters. But yeah, I do think that she needs to leave, but she's there for the money. Look, she even made a comment on the show. She was just like, oh yeah, I'm here because I need the money. I forget what the conversation was about, but I was like, sis, we know. Like you never really and you don't really engage. She even made a comment that they got in on her talking about, oh, y'all keep saying I need to engage with the show. And it was just like, well, yeah, you need to engage. If they pay you $9 million damn dollars a season, bitch, you need to engage. I'm sorry. Trust and believe, I'm gonna be into every conversation. I don't give a good that we could talk about shit on the side of the damn toilet seat. I'm gonna make a segment about it because I'm getting paid $9 million to talk about it. So, sis, if I'm paying you all this money, you need to engage. Work hard for that $9 million. Trump alleges that Alyssa came out and supported him when he left office in 2020. She's my favorite at that table. Is she? He said she came out in support of him. Well, she actually said that she what's the word? She said she voted for Kamala Harris. 7 days of the View is way too much. Whoopi is a horrible human being. Sunny is emotionally unstable. Funnily enough, I've heard stories about Whoopi. And when I was at the Garden, um, one of the people that I was working with said we was talking about it, I think this was like the first, not even the first day, I think it was the second day of working the Annie show. He said, "Oh, I don't like her." I cackled. I was like, why? Because I had to perk my ears up. He said because I remember what it was. It was one of the days that I actually worked her show. I can't remember exactly what day it was. And he was like, because he was doing the ticket taking or whatever, and there was something that happened, and some people that she had said that was on the list was supposed to be on the list. The ticket there was an issue or whatever with the tickets that she sent them, because everything is electronic when you come to the Garden. So it was like there was a ticket issue, and she got nasty, and she got nasty with him and Snap. One person said that they had a good issue. I mean, good time with her. Like she wasn't rude or whatever. One of my other coworkers said back in the day when she had her talk show in New York that he used to play cards and smoke weed with her. So everybody's got a different experience, I guess, depending on the way the wind blows. But yeah, so it's like I work with some very interesting people. He said, breaking news, Kylie is issuing Someone for Me as her upcoming Tension 2 single. A remix by German duo You Not Us is the official version. It's a theme to a game show and no video, as Kylie is too well, I also think she's too busy, that she's working on rehearsing for this upcoming tour that's about to kick off, I think next month, right? So she likes Someone for Me. You'll be the one, you'll be the one, is what I need, is thing for me. I'm trying to remember the lyric, but I was like, I wanted Taboo to be the single though. It's like, why can't we release that? That is giving me too much, well, very much ABBA vibes, but I would have loved that as being the song. As an OG fan of The View, I wish Alyssa would sit out the weekend show. She's become okay. Because you want to know something? I did catch up on the first 2 episodes earlier today while I was making something to eat. Well, I was catching up on a lot of stuff. First of all, I watched Worst Cooks in America. Thank you, Felix, for the recommendation. So I was watching that as I was making my breakfast. And then afterwards, I was like, let me catch up with The View as I was putting the show together. And I agree with you. I was sitting there watching. I'm like, oh my God, Alyssa, would you shut the fuck? It was a point because it was like when Sonny was saying something or another. I think they were talking about like the education system or whatever. I had to fast forward through it because I said y'all all just saying a bunch of damn nothing. Because y'all can't relate. I'm sure all of your children went to highly prestigious schools because of the money that y'all make. So y'all sitting here trying to act like y'all can relate to understanding like teachers getting paid less, which the only one I think up there that could really speak on that would be Joy, because Joy was a teacher before she became, the comedian, personality, that sort of thing. So she's the only one, in my opinion, that I feel like could really relate. I mean, unless you want to talk about Whoopi and Sonny, who went to public school when they was coming up because they was poor. But if y'all in a place of richness, y'all can't really speak on trying to understand and fathom conversations about our educational system. So you saying for the heterosexual DJ duo, maybe it's time for a new cast, but nobody wants to do as for Tamron. Isn't her show exclusive on Peacock? Is it? Because I have not seen. No, Peacock is NBC. ABC is where Tamron Hall's show is. I hear because it's syndicated that's one of the reasons why it's not like on YouTube or any other places. You'll get clips, but you don't get full episodes. I just think that's stupid because if we get The View, what is The View not nationally syndicated? Sonny's head doesn't fit her body. I wonder if she's going to call a husband a convict once he's convicted of fraud. Well, we'll see when he has to go to court. The Viewcast should be Trudeau'd. You said, I was listening to Apostle Princess last night and came to the conclusion it's my favorite Kylie album. I'm a defender of Indie Kylie. As am I. I like when the artists go out there and experiment. If you feel in your heart that you want to go and experiment and it didn't work out, but at least you tried, I'm here for it. I kind of feel bad for Robbie Williams though, because I heard his new movie is not relatively doing well. And they spent a lot of money on that damn film too. And it's spent, I don't know if the one thing I feel like is gonna hurt it is the fact that how do you market that film in America? Because I don't think Robbie Williams has a lot of fans here. Like I'm a Robbie Williams fan. I remember back in the day when they tried to market him the same, they tried to push him in America at one point. But I feel like the way they went about it, it just didn't work. It's probably because, in my opinion, he is like the male version of Kylie. He's very camp. He's a little edgier than her, but he's campy, he's cheeky, he doesn't take himself too seriously. It doesn't have a problem poking fun at himself. He's got a lot of really good songs. I like his catalog of music, but it just doesn't resonate here. So how do you sell that film to the American market, even though, and I mean, I understand he could probably sell it to the international markets like the UK and all this stuff, but I heard like the movie's not really going to do well. Exactly. Americans ain't checking for him. I totally agree. Americans are not checking for Robbie Williams, so it's going to flop, unfortunately. I mean, I don't even think he'd be that entertaining enough to have a biopic. But look, they took that gamble, so deal with it. Wait, as I was about to go, oh, I thought another comment came in. Okay, so now let's get into this Allison Holker story that's going around with in Twitch. So yesterday it was revealed she did I saw it online, I did an article on it, but then more stuff came out, so I was like, let's talk about it. So Allison Holker, has been speaking to people exclusively about this upcoming book that she has coming out, which is talking about life after Twitch and things that she discovered and mental health and a bunch of other stuff and how they're grieving with his death. And now his family is pissed because she out here spilling tea. And even said that she had them sign an NDA, and that was the only way they could be able to attend the funeral. So we'll get into all that in a second. Even we had Candace from the Real Housewives of Potomac jumped in on the conversation. She ain't on there no more, but she jumped in on the conversation as well, making it a black and white thing. But we'll get into all of that in a second. But at first, let's go through the article. So Allison Holker is currently on a media blitz to promote her upcoming memoir, is sparking a family feud with relatives and friends of the late Stephen Twitch boss, going after his widow for labeling him a drug user. So shout out to Entertainment Weekly for this story. They said the comments on social media cropped up on Tuesday after a new interview with People in support of her upcoming memoir, This Far, which comes out February 4th, in which Holker claims that Boss, who took his own life at age 40 in December of 2022, had hidden a cornucopia of drugs, including mushrooms, pills, and other substances she had to look up inside his shoeboxes, which she found after his passing. Saying, I was with one of my really dear friends and we were cleaning out the closet, okay, Eminem, and picking out an outfit for him for the funeral. This is what she told the outlet. She said it was really triggering moment for me because there were a lot of things I discovered in our closet and I did not know existed. It was very alarming to me to learn that there was so much happening that I had no clue about. Excuse me. It was a really scary moment in my life to figure that out, but it also helped me process that he was going through so much, that he was hiding so much, and there have been a lot of shame in that. Now, family friend Courtney Ann Platt shared a photo of the story on her Instagram on Tuesday with a lengthy caption slamming the memoir and its claims, saying, anyone who knows me knows I go straight to the source during a conflict and handle my business, but since there's clearly no shame in being so public, I haven't said a word in 2 years, but here I go. Here I go. Here I go. Here I go. Okay, girl, what's my weakness, man? No, she ain't say that. That was Salt and Pepper. But anyway, back to the story. So they said Platt, who said that she was there the day Holker and Boss got engaged and later when they got married, slammed the book and its press as by far the most tacky, classless, opportunistic act I have ever seen in my entire life. She continued. She said, we all had to sign some weird NDA to attend his funeral, even his own mother, who you treated like garbage this entire time. And let's just remember, you wouldn't even have had a husband if it wasn't for her. not to share anything to ruin his name, but if that was on anyone's mind in the first place, and here you go and write a book with all the dirty laundry smearing his name and attempting to dim the bright, loyal, loving light that was your husband, my friend. Platt also took issue with publishing a book shamelessly sharing the pages of Boss's journal, saying, "What a joke." Yes, he took his own life, which is a fact all of us still can't fathom, and he was clearly having mental health issues, hurting so deeply, and this is your example of empathy, of your love, she concluded. The smear campaign for a buck is absolutely not what he would have ever wanted, no matter how bad he was hurting, not for a second. You're a living, breathing bulldozer. Stick to your own demons. Shame on you, Allison. Shame on your money-hungry team. Let my friend rest in peace, not your PR. Well, damn. Those some fighting words, niece. But here's the thing. You know what? I'm personally here for people before we get to the rest of the article, because I know a lot of people will come out and say some things. I'm here for somebody who wants to come out and grieve in their own way. But if this is her using this as an opportunity to make a dollar, then I agree. Shame on you. And if she treated Twitch's mother like shit, double shame on her. So, Boss's brother, Dre Rose, then shared a snap of Platt's post on his IG stories with the caption, "No lies told." Now, while he hasn't shared a post of his own, Rose also reported many other similar stories from others slamming the memoir and his claims. Basically saying, you know what, I don't need to say anything. Y'all saying it for me. Where sometimes it's best. It's like sometimes, you know what, when it comes to things, I be like, sometimes y'all will put into words. And I've had that happen with me as well. Like sometimes I'll see something on social media and I'll screenshot and I'll be like, you know what? Sometimes I couldn't have said it better myself. And basically just post to be like, yeah, I agree with these overall thoughts. So you don't want to rock the boat, whatever the case was. But I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna put it out there. Cause I'm like, yeah, this bitch is an opportunist too. Now, former The Real Housewives of Potomac star Candace Dillard Bassett took to Twitter and called out Allison for spilling Twitch's tea to the public, saying, "I'm not even going to say it, but this white woman is doing everything but protecting her black children and her black husband's legacy. She could have kept this in her therapist's office, SMH." Saying black men deal with stereotypes around mental health, drug use, alcohol abuse, etc., and are stigmatized far more greatly for these issues. In my opinion, this is a haphazard and irresponsible way to bring awareness. She went on to say this. She said she could have just easily taken this story to Essence or Ebony, where care would have been taken to share such a tragically intimate story of a black man's plight against himself. Okay, now before we move on, let's unpack what she said. Now, in regards of what Candace said, she was like, she could have went to Essence and did all this. That's true. However, Allison's a white woman. I don't know. I don't think white people, and this is like something I saw on YouTube, a video where they were just like, why white people don't really check for black shows. I'm sure, and look, don't get me wrong, there are white people that are all about the culture and they get the invite to the cookout. They watch black shows. They hang out. They got a lot of black friends. We ain't talking about those. We talking about just regular schmegular white people. You can't expect, even if you do marry somebody of color, for them to not have those racial blind spots and all of a sudden think like we do, which is when you are a person of color, we have to do mental gymnastics. We have to be able to go in and think 3 steps ahead of everybody else because in society, we have to do that. White people can sit around walking around oblivious to what's going on around them because they've never had to deal with the things that we've had to deal with. So for you to expect Allison to all of a sudden be like, oh yeah, I'm going to go to BET and do an interview. I'm going to go over to Essence. I'm going to go to Jet. Is Jet even still around? I'm going to go to Ebony and give them an exclusive. I'll go to People because People is like the creme de la creme of magazines when you do an interview. And also, Candace, I love you dearly, but I don't know if you if this might be a case of right message, wrong messenger, but you're a black woman married to a white man. Have you taken it upon yourself with your announcements and stuff to go over to Ebony and Essence and all those other things too? A lot of y'all go to People. I feel like when it comes to um when you do like reality TV or that sort of thing, I've always noticed that, yeah, when it comes down to stuff, especially with Bravo, it seemed like the people that get the breaking news always happens to be People. So I don't know. I just feel like it just comes across a bit hypocritical. Although I get what you're saying in regards of like, yes, you could have went to those places because that would be a safe space where you could speak with Black people and they would be able to tell you about, what people go through, particularly Black men. And I do agree with this whole situation of that Black men don't go to therapy. Black men don't deal with a lot of demons and issues because you're told to suck it up. You're told to just be a man at 2 years old. I'm like, how the fuck I know about what the fuck do I know about being a man at 2? My voice ain't dropped, my balls ain't dropping, I damn sure ain't got no pubic hair, my ass cracking on my fucking dick. So how the hell am I gonna sit up in here and be a man at 2 or 4 or 6 when I'm still trying to understand how the world is? I'm a kid. So, and also I forgot to bring this up. So apparently, I didn't know this. Apparently Twitch was molested as a child. So there might have been some demons and stuff that he was dealing with. And so we're always taught as men of color or as Black men to put on this strong front, to be able to, keep your emotions down and into the soles of your feet. Don't you cry, be a man. You hear these things. I was lucky enough that, when I did hear those things with certain people, I was encouraged to express myself and I was encouraged to to deal with my emotions in a lot of ways. In the beginning, it was a struggle, but then over the years, I have learned to get to that place. And I do definitely recommend therapy when it comes to men in general. We have to be able to deal with a lot of those things. And another thing, what I don't understand either, I don't get how, like, it's just real suspect to me how she was up in here acting completely oblivious to all the things that was going on with Twitch. So everything was just copacetic between y'all. Y'all had no problems. You didn't notice anything that was going on. You didn't take time out of your day to be like, how you doing, babe? Or what's wrong with you? Or whatever issues you got, let's work through it together. I know one of the kids, and this is, I know, completely traumatic because she mentioned this in the interview, that his last words to his child is he took them to school before he unalived himself. I wish I could be your Superman. That's what he said to the kid before he dropped her off. I think it was his daughter, but before he dropped her off to school. So you can imagine that amount of trauma that that kid has on them now that they're thinking about that, because that's the last thing you said to me before you dropped me off to school, before you took your own life. And how he would go into the garage, or not the garage, in the what is it, the guest house that they had, and he was drinking and smoking his weed or whatever the case was. And I guess she kind of just left him alone to do his thing. So you trying to tell me throughout y'all marriage you wasn't fully engaged in trying to figure out what the hell was going on with your husband, or that he didn't feel strong enough that he could come confide in you on whatever issue that was going on in his life? Because you would think that the conversations that would be had, but then again, like I said before, when it comes to being a Black man in America, we're taught that we can't express ourselves and deal with our stuff. We have to be strong all the time. This is why I always tell people you gotta take the time to check on your strong friends. Don't only just focus on the weak ones. So I'm trying to see if there's any more stuff in here. So there is another post what they have here, what it's like, this whole thing made me sad. He's gone. Why tear apart his name? I was fully supportive about you moving in and being happy, but this at paycheck was not worth disgracing his name. And Allison says, I'll always love you, just trying to help people feel safe and ask for help and support. And then they go and say, I love you too. It's so hard to hear. And I imagine it can't be easy going through what you've been through. There will be a lot of hate thrown your way, but it's not for me to just splice a difficult situation. It's just so hard to digest. I can't imagine how you feel. So I apologize to jump into conclusions. And I can understand, like, people, well, who actually said that? Um, but she's trying to say she's doing this as a way to help people. And I can't tell you how to grieve, but then at the same time, you know what? This is just going to be tough for people, especially because, when it comes to anything going on with trauma in Black folks, we like to sweep it under the rug. And I guess because we don't want to give white folks ammunition to try to come at us with stuff. So we sweep sexual abuse under the rug. We sweep homosexuality under the rug. We sweep all the negative or things that are deemed negative under the rug, and we don't deal with it. But eventually you have to realize the more shit you sweep under the rug, eventually that dirt's got to come out from the crevices. So you can't keep sweeping everything under the rug expecting eventually all that dirt ain't gonna come out. So hopefully this opens up a conversation regarding Black men, mental health, seeking help, that sort of thing. But I don't know. I just feel like Allison, this is something you just gotta deal with this. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story in regards of Allison speaking out on this? Like I said, I'm of two minds. You know, I'm a Twitch fan. I'm glad that we got some type of closure or we got an insight into what may have transpired, you know, may have caused him to take his own life. And that's so the whole thing. But I also think we need to kill this stigma of always sweeping things under a rug and not dealing with, mental health issues within our community. So these are definitely things we need to talk about. We need to normalize therapy. We need to normalize Black men expressing their traumas and their emotions. We also need to move away from self-medicating ourselves because, like she was saying, like that's something that he was pretty much doing. That he was smoking weed, he was drinking, he was taking pills and all kinds of other things that she didn't even know what the hell it was that she found in the shoebox. And, I also wonder why he didn't feel safe enough to confide in his wife to deal with any of the demons that he was dealing with. So it's a loaded situation. It's a lot to unpack. And hopefully she's able to work it out. And I hope this opens up a Pandora's box for those out there who see this and want to deal with their demons as well and not sweep it under the rug. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. You said, and the whole monkey thing is is also controversial. Like Funky said, he picked her. Okay, he sure did. You know. Okay, so where we going? Okay, so let's get into this Blake Lively story because child, she's been branded by an old video from 2017, an interview resurfaced where there was an actor by the name of Armie Hammer, and y'all know who he is because he's wrapped up in some controversy. But in a minute, I'm gonna tell you, he actually got a job. So, you know, there was an old interview that he did. He was on an episode of Watch What Happens Live alongside, I think they were doing, I don't remember where they were doing it, but they had the much bigger studio. It wasn't in the clubhouse. But he had Chelsea Handler was up there and it was Armie Hammer and then the old video service. Because what I had totally forgot was that Armie was on Gossip Girl. I totally forgot that he was on that damn show. So Armie Hammer was on Gossip Girl, and he basically called her a nightmare to work with. So in the Watch What Happens Live appearance alongside Chelsea Handler, Hammer was asked by a fan to name the biggest diva on the set of the iconic CW series, where he appeared in a memorable 4-episode stint in 2009. Now, after an awkward pause, Armie hesitated before admitting, let me just say that was a tough show to film, and I didn't end up actually filming all of the episodes I was supposed to because it was such a tough filming. Now, Hammer's cryptic words hinted at at his firing from the series, as he added, "It was also like get him out of here." Now, when host Andy Cohen probed further and asked who his love interest was on the show, Armie sheepishly replied, "Blake." Chelsea quickly joked, sounds like she was the problem, to which Cohen agreed, adding, it sure does, Chelsea. That's exactly what I was thinking. Well, you were trying to imply that because you knew he was going to say something shady about her. Now, Armie laughed it off, but his awkward smile and raised eyebrows after saying, no, no, that's not what I'm saying, hinted he wasn't fully denying it because he was trying to be the diplomatic actor. He was trying not to ruffle no feathers, but and that's typical Hollywood stuff. But it was like, yeah, she was a nightmare to work with. And I'm sure Leighton Meester would agree too, which is why you know, she may have left Hollywood because she didn't want to deal with a lot of the Blake Lively types. And she should be grateful that her career was what it was because nobody wasn't checking for her before Gossip Girl. She also better be glad she spread her legs to have 4 babies with Ryan Reynolds because if she didn't, nobody would be giving a shit about her. Quiet as a cat. Now, Lively, as you know, started it and was us opposite Baldoni, Justin Baldoni, and this is why all this is coming up because a lot of people are, she's trying to file this suit saying that he was trying to ruin her career. But I'm like, sis, at some point, maybe you need to take responsibility for your actions. And I will sit here and tell you this: I've actually gagged over the amount of people who have been in my comments when I've posted these. I've been doing these Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni lawsuit story, and I posted it on TikTok and I posted it on YouTube. I cannot tell you how many people have been in the comments who are Team Justin. A lot of people feel like Blake is a problem. She's a diva. She is insufferable. And also, there were people that were bringing this up, and I totally forgot she did this. And I'm glad that they reminded me. When we were talking about that she lost out on like her brand deals took a significant dip when because of the lawsuits. But if you really do the math, I totally forgot that she was on this promotional trail with doing the movie, and she was promoting her hair care line, and she was promoting her drink line, her Betty Booze or whatever the hell it's called. She was promoting that, and people were, and I remember back then when I was watching the stuff, they were calling what she was doing tacky. So maybe it's her fault that she was using that opportunity to promote her, that you're doing something where you're talking about something as traumatic as the subject matter in It Ends With Us, and you're using that opportunity to hawk your products. That wasn't the right place and time for her to be doing that. So for her to sit up here and try to act like that it was Justin Baldoni's lawsuit that probably went into it, I said, this is why I said you're going to have to put up the coins, or not even the coin, you have to show us the books. And when, from the time you made the announcement, because you did start talking about it on this promotional trail, that maybe the people were turned off from it because you brought this up on your show. I mean, during the promos, that maybe you turn people off and they're like, why are you even using this opportunity to promote your products while you're supposed to be promoting this movie? And then her hijacking it and all the other stuff that had transpired from that. So I don't know if you can necessarily blame him 110%. And even if Justin Baldoni is guilty of the things he's done, based off of your past reputation, people are not inclined to believe you. People think, it's like your past coming back to haunt you. And the one time that you was actually innocent in some shit, now you having to pay the price because your past and karma decided to collide with your lawsuit. So that's basically what I'm looking at it in this whole situation. So, we already know about the complaint in California, Civil Rights Department. And then, they said that he improvised one in kissing scenes and created a hostile work environment. Meanwhile, throughout her entire career, they've been saying that she's provided a hostile work environment. Or maybe I could bring this up over here on the Twitter because they're showing it. So I don't think we'll get in trouble if we show that because it's not technically me using the YouTube or all that other stuff. So hold on, let's get to this clip and let's play what he had to say.
Who was the biggest diva on set?
Gossip.
Biggest diva on set of Gossip Girl.
You can say it because it's so far away from where you are now. That show's over. I suggest that you do not pass on another question.
Thank you, Chelsea.
I wish I could take all of my passes back and use them all right
Really?
now.
Yeah. Let me just say that was a tough show to film, and I didn't end up actually filming all of the episodes I was supposed to because it was such a tough film.
Really? Literally, you said, get me out of this.
It was also like, get him out of here. Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
So it just literally was that. Whose love interest were you?
I was Blake Lively's love interest.
You were?
Yeah.
Okay, well
Sounds
then.
like she was the problem.
It sure does, Chelsea.
I think of that video from 2017 quite.
Who was the biggest diva on set?
Gossip.
Biggest diva on set of Gossip Girl.
You can say it because it's so.
Okay, so y'all got the gist. And so, yeah, I'm not surprised that they would say that it was Blake or whatever the case is. But and then so we're in the midst of all of this. We're still waiting to see what's going to happen in regards to the whole Blake thing. So we don't need to go into full detail about it. We've already done that throughout the past couple of episodes. But I will say this: Armie Hammer, speaking of which, he does have a new movie coming out, or he's going to start working on a new movie. And so yeah, his career is back on track. And apparently, the name of the movie is called The Dark Knight, but he's not playing Batman, and it's not being directed by Christopher Nolan. You already know Christopher Nolan is about to do The Odyssey, which is a take on Homer's The Odyssey. So he's about to do that film with a hugely stacked ensemble cast. But this film called The Dark Knight is about to start filming principal photography is supposed to start shooting in Croatia on January 27th. And the person directing is Uwe Boll. Now, y'all know that name. He's directed some of the worst films in all of cinema, but apparently they continue to give him money to make a movie. They said he's done, I remember they said the number of movies that he's done. Well, anyway, according to the article Variety, they said that his comeback is picking up steam after nabbing the starring role in Uwe Boll's latest film, The Dark Knight. He's set to play the crime-fighting titular character in the vigilante thriller, which is scheduled to begin for photography on January 27th. The embattled actor, who saw his career come to a halt in 2021 following allegations of sexual misconduct, recently returned to work in Travis Mills' forthcoming Western Frontier Crucible, which also stars Thomas Jane and William H. Macy. Following a lengthy probe, LA prosecutors in 2023 declined to charge the actor with any crime. Prior to the allegations, Hammer starred in high-profile films such as Gore Verbinski's The Lone Ranger, alongside Johnny Depp, Guy Ritchie's The Man from U.N.C.L.E. with Henry Cavill, and Luca Guadagnino's Call Me By My Name, or Call Me By Your Name, with Timothée Chalamet. Now, in a recent podcast interview, he said that his acting career has picked up so much that he started to turn jobs down. Saying my dance card's pretty full. The first job that I turned down after 4 years of this shit. I mean, it was the best feeling I've ever had. So yeah, say what you want about Armie Hammer, but look like his career's about to take off again. I know some people probably gonna be pissed, but look, it is what it is. Look, Mel Gibson out here directing and making movies, so apparently people have moved on from that. And who was that? The one I did the article on that blew up. James Franco with his problematic ass. He's out here back to acting too, even though Seth Rogen, he said, wants nothing to do with him. But he's back and his career's doing what it's doing. Some people got to unfortunately go overseas to do what they're doing. Maybe with the whole connection between, it's funny how, well, I was going to say careers tend to get ruined. But it's like, yeah, if Armie Hammer was fired because of Blake Lively's behavior on set, and then Justin Baldoni's going through the same thing, there's a relatability factor there. And so maybe Justin can go overseas and start making movies. But even if Uwe Boll is doing horrible films, a check is a check, apparently. And it's like, look, this is show business. Everybody can't do Shakespeare. So whatever's going to pay the bills, because at one point, remember, Armie was complaining that he wasn't making a lot of money, that he was struggling, that at one point he was working a regular job. Well, I forgot where he lived. Did he live I think in the Cayman Islands, Barbados? He lives on some island. So they said in The Dark Knight, based on an original script by Boll, Hammer plays Sanders, who takes justice into his own hands as he sets out to hunt down criminals, while his crusade transforms him into a social media sensation and a hero in the eyes of the public. The local police chief sees him as a menace to society and aims to take him down. Now, the story of The Dark Knight couldn't be a more current topic, and I'm excited to bring to life with this excellent cast. This is what Boll said, whose recent films include the crime drama First Shift and the forthcoming migrant crisis thriller Run. But he's also done movies like Blood Rain. I think Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. He's done a lot of terrible films. So, yeah, this is what he's doing now. So, and he also said with Armie Hammer in the lead role and more great actors to be announced soon, and with an outstanding script, we are excited to build up on the great response we got for First Shift and Run, and we'll have another strong movie soon. Now, reps for Hammer did not immediately respond for comment, blah, 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 so on and so forth. But yeah, looks like Armie Hammer's back. His acting career is kicking off. And it just seems like this is the way we are with the world now. It's like, you know what? You cancel people for a while, but look, and then we move on. But in Armie's case, regardless if you want to call him a cannibal, there's no evidence that he was out here eating people. They didn't charge him for anything. So what is he supposed to do? Still just be canceled? Like, it went through the legality situation. It's, it is what it is. Let the man get up there and make money. I was trying to see what they said what any of these other films were about, but it doesn't really say what. They said First Shift was a surprise hit on Paramount Plus in December. Why am I just now hearing about this movie? And then Run starred 3-time Emmy and Tony Award-winning Amanda Plummer, James Russo, Ulrich Thompson, and Oscar nominee Burkhad Abdi, is being handled internationally by UTA Independent Film Group and is currently in negotiations for U.S. release. So yeah, he did. This is his Dark Knight's gonna be his 37th film. They said he's done other films I forgot about. In the Name of the King. That film was terrible. With Jason Statham, cult favorites Postal, and the Rampage trilogy, and such socially conscious films as Attack on Darfur and Assault on Wall Street. So there you have it. So I said, what do y'all think of this story regarding Blake Lively being called A Nightmare to Work With, in an old video that Armie Hammer did. Plus, Armie Hammer's career seems to be jumping back on track because he's got a couple of new movies coming out. So whatever your thought, and you know what, in regards of, I must be a glutton for punishment, because while Uber Bowl is a horrible ass filmmaker, I don't know if his movies have improved over the years. There was only so many times I was going to sit through and see his name on a film and give the movie a chance to actually watch it and think like maybe he would improve a little bit. If these movies were surprise hits, let me know if those films that I named are better and have improved. I might want to give it a gander to see, based off the concept of The Dark Knight, if it is a good movie. I need to see a trailer or something. So I might actually check that out. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. He said, I usually don't recommend this, Karen, but Megyn Kelly interviewed Brian Freeman. Brian revealed they plan on suing Blake to oblivion, and Ryan Reynolds and Disney is going to be sued to oblivion. As well they should. And you said as well because of the nice pool scene. Brian Freeman is right. If your wife is a victim of SA, you wouldn't make it a joke. Well, everything apparently is a joke, according to Ryan Reynolds. So we'll see how that all pans out. Okay, so now speaking of lawsuits, Diplo looks like he reached an end to his, because it's called a resolution in principle in his legal battle with a former lover who basically accused him of stalking her, among other things. She also said that he did some RP. That he was showing stuff about their sexual stuff on what do you say, Snapchat. Now, lawyers for DJ and producer Diplo announced that they've reached a global resolution in principle on Monday to end his tangled legal dispute, with Shelly Augusta, a woman he had a sexual relationship with in 2019. The last-minute deal averted a trial set to begin next Monday. Now, if the trial had proceeded, it would have consolidated Diplo's stalking, trespassing, and RP claims against Augusta with her dueling claims of sexual battery and assault filed against the musician. Saying we have a resolution in principle. We're probably days, not weeks, away from getting it signed. There are 1 or 2 paragraphs to kind of tweak. We sent revisions over the weekend. This is what Diplo's lawyer, Brian Elliott Turnauer, told the court. Now, when Judge Rolf M. Tro asked if Augusta's lawyer, Kimberly Casper, agreed with the settlement claim, Casper responded that she did. Now, Judge Tro then vacated the trial update and said the parties should return next Monday to hopefully have a signed settlement that would dismiss the case. Now, lawyers on both sides declined to comment as they left the courtroom in DTLA. Now, Diplo, born Thomas Wesley Pence, has been locked in a dispute with Augusta since she filed for a restraining order on November of 2020. She claimed in the filing that she met Pence online when she was 17 in 2014 and that he groomed her into exchanging sexually intimate messages. She accused him of posting a sexually explicit image of her on an anonymous Twitter account as revenge because she had claimed online that he filmed one of their encounters without her consent. Now, Pence responded by filing his own restraining order petition on December 8, 2020. He described Augusta as an obsessed fan who became vindictive when he refused to continue to see her after a very brief sexual encounter. He claimed they met in March of 2018, not 2014, and admitted they did hunch in April of 2019 and again in Las Vegas in July of 2019. He claimed Augusta sent him a barrage of unsolicited, lewd, and obscene messages after that and became upset when he refused to engage. Pence then accused Augusta of sending at least 4 explicit videos of him to the mother of one of his children. He called himself a victim of RP. So they're both going back and forth, stating that they're both victims of RP on social media. Now, in January of 2021, The parties entered into a settlement concerning their request for mutual restraining orders. This is what the court records show. The deal restricted their rights to publish information and provided for binding arbitration of any disputes. Now, on April 21st, 2021, Pence demanded arbitration because Augusta allegedly continued to make social media postings, but he also sued Augusta a week later in open court, accusing her of stalking, trespassing, and revenge. RP, because you can't say the other word. 2 months later, in June of 2021, Augusta filed her own lawsuit against Pence, alleging that he groomed her since she was a teenager and forced her into hunching in Las Vegas on July 9th, 2019, when she was highly intoxicated. So, ciao. On September 6, 2022, an arbitrator found that both sides had violated their prior agreement, a court record obtained by Rolling Stone reveals. The record states that while both parties were found at fault, it was Pence who was awarded $1.2 million in damages. It's not clear what the status of the award was when the parties entered negotiations for the new global resolution. Now, the new deal announced on Monday comes a week after a federal judge in Los Angeles ruled that a different woman must use her real name if she chooses to proceed with a separate revenge porn. Well, I keep forgetting I'm not supposed to say that. The separate RP lawsuit that she filed against the famous DJ last June. The woman's lawyer said in a statement to Rolling Stone that she plans to appeal the decision. Now, in that case, the Jane Doe plaintiff alleges that she was 21 years old in April 2016 when she began communicating with Pence, who was 37 at the time, over Snapchat. According to the woman, she and Pence later engaged in an intimate relationship that lasted several years. She acknowledged that occasionally she allowed Pence to record them having sex, but claims she never gave him permission to distribute those images and videos to third parties. She alleges that between 2018 and 2023, Pence recorded himself having relations with her and then shared the video with others over both text messages and Snapchat. The woman claims that a different woman contacted her in November 2023 to say Pence had shared some of the intimate material with her on Snapchat on October 14, 2018. Well, if the person said all of this, I hope you got the evidence. You can present it in front of a judge and then y'all can get y'all coins. But here's the thing. I like Diplo. I like his music. I like his production work. I like all that good stuff. I like what he does with Major Lazer. But if you out here doing this mess, then you need to be taken to the cleaners in regards to all of this. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story in regards to this resolution? Because it sounds like to me, based off I was reading the article, so this is not the woman that apparently had to reveal her name. She's not the Jane Doe. There's apparently another woman that he allegedly did this to. So he's got two cases going on from what I'm gathering. But it's cute or whatever that he released, that there's a resolution of principle. I'm curious to find out what's the full details of all of this. Like, we'll see how it all pans out when they have to come back to court on Monday. I would definitely keep you guys abreast of the story as it develops. But it's like, yeah, sir, you can sleep with anybody you want in the world, and I'm sure you do. But for you to be pulling these type of stunts, to me, it's like a sociopathic ego thing. Seem like a lot of you celebrities be doing this, but you know, it's unfortunate, and I'll definitely keep you guys abreast of the story as it develops. So let me know what you guys think of this story, speaking of which, in the comments down below. You said, wait, they only reached a resolution after being legally forced to reveal herself. I'm side-eyeing Diplo. He knew what he was doing, telling bros to stay away from her. You said, wait, Augusta and the other woman are two different people. That's what I was saying. I'm like, I was confused as I was reading. I'm like, so to me, what I'm picking up from is that it's two different women. Because if you're saying that a woman has to reveal who she is, I thought maybe that's who she was. But to me, it seemed like it's two different cases. That this is one that's being settled, but there's another case that's coming towards him that he did the same thing too. And then you see on the gay blogs, they out here celebrating Diplo because he made a comment or something other about, oh yeah, I'm about to have a three-way with two dudes or something or another. Something because you know, when it comes to the gay blogs, and you know it's slim pickings when it comes to the topics over there. Like anything where somebody's even implying same-sex stuff, they want to make a whole damn story about it. I'm like, really? This is what we're doing? Like, what are you, 12? So I have to look further into that and see, because to me, that the way that story came across, like, yeah, it is two different people. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about Trashy K, who apparently is trying to play victim and is saying that Cardi B is trying to financially ruin her. Well, according to Cardi, who's been following the money, even going overseas with an attorney to follow the money that you allegedly been laundering and try not to pay her the money you owe her, the $3.5 million. And then it wasn't not that long ago, T.S. Madison was doing a whole damn 30-minute video with Craig where they was doing fag talk, where she was talking about Trashy K in the hiding the money because you trying not to pay her what you owe her, in the words of Rihanna. So yeah, we have this whole situation going on, and child, it's a cackle. So, in new legal documents obtained by TMZ on Tuesday, the 42-year Tasha K cannot be 42. You cannot be 42 and looking like that. But she's 42. Let's go along with it. The 42-year-old gossip blogger claimed the 32-year-old Grammy winner was trying to bully her financially by exposing her alleged secret offshore trust accounts in the Cook Islands, Nevis, and Georgia. Oh, yeah. She's saying it's alleged, but some people saying it actually is a thing. Now, Tasha K, born Latasha Kibi, alleged Cardi B, I ain't even trying to say her damn name, was trying to condition any settlement of the debt with a broad restriction on her ability to talk freely on her blogs and other social media. The half Dominican, half Trinidadian star's attorneys filed docs in Florida bankruptcy court last month, claiming the Unwind with Tasha K host had fraudulently transferred assets and income out of her name and into her husband. What's his name? Cheknica or whatever? Child, I can't. Kibi or his business. Now, Cardi B alleged Tasha K is still living a life in luxury, having recently upgraded to a $7,000 a month apartment, and she wants the judge to toss her bankruptcy case and block her from refiling for the next 2 years. The Florida-born comedian, Wait, who's a comedian? No, you're not calling Tasha K a comedian. One has to be funny in order to be a comedian. But I guess let's go along with it. So they said the Florida-born comedian previously claimed to bankruptcy court that she has less than $60K in assets, including a 2021 Chevrolet Silverado and 2 Louis Vuitton bags. Girl, you need to pawn those if you broke. Unless they you got them off the corner from the Chinese people in Chinatown, and a reported $95 in her bank account. Which I don't know, if you're doing a YouTube channel and you still successful, I don't know how that's all you got in your account. But Tasha K bragged about completely selling out her VIP tables at her New Year's Eve celebration, which was attended by 400 of her wino fan base at the Bayou City Event Center in Houston, Texas. Well, it ain't that hard to sell out something in Texas, quiet as it's kept. Now, the prolific YouTuber who concluded a 22-city tour last year has previously been sued for defamation by Kevin Hart, R. Kelly, Soulja Boy, and Bishop Lamar Whitehead. Isn't he dead? Bishop Whitehead, whose case was tossed out last August. Now, meanwhile, the Enough Miami rapper, who regularly spends about $3 million in a month, vowed to release the long-delayed sophomore follow-up to her 2018 debut solo album, Invasion Privacy, this year. I don't know what the hell the release of her album got to do with this conversation. I really don't. What does it got to do with Tasha K allegedly hiding assets and Cardi B suing her? This is, where did I get this article from? This is the Daily Mail. You know, the Daily Mail, y'all love trying to write full on. I told you, they'll write a damn novel instead of just staying to the damn point. Then they also brought in this thing. She was talking about, I don't even want to take dick right now because every single time I do, I get distracted. Clearly, because every time you put out a new damn, you're supposed to put out an album, you keep spreading your legs for Offset, bitch ass. And then you wind up with a baby. And then you get up on social media and you know, sucking us up into your conversation. And then you get mad when people talk about it. It's like, well, girls, get us out the goddamn group chat. We don't care about you and Offset because you decide to marry a fuckboy with giving you community dick whenever you get an itch in your clit. I was like, we can move, like, grow up, sis. I understand you got kids and stuff with them, but you be doing some straight up fuck shit too. And I like you, Cardi. But a lot of this behavior, this is some hood booger shit that you knowing. So stay away from the dick. focus on the album and get this album out, because you said that it's going to come out in January. I mean, not January. You said it's coming out in 2025, but I'm not holding my breath, because if I hold my breath, I won't be able to see 2026 waiting on you to put out this album. So they said the Marc Jacobs brand ambassador continued. She said, I don't even want to entertain ninjas, because I'm the type of person that if I text you and you ain't text me back in 30 minutes, you pissed me off. So now I'm pissed at you for a whole 2 hours. So now I'm distracted. So I don't even want to entertain ninjas right now until my work is out of the way. See, the typical damn Libra. A lot of y'all are too goddamn emotional. Now, Cardi B, you know, she's been going, Cardi B and Offset have been going at it, but apparently he got a new girlfriend, and she's a model named Melanie Jada. And they've been hanging out in Dubai. But I'm like, child, that man probably always had a girlfriend, even when he was married to you. So now they said okay, so we don't need to know any, and we don't care about all the extra stuff about her marriage, filing the divorce, how many kids she got. Like, y'all just focusing on too much other stuff that we need to focus on. But she has been nominated for Best Rap Performance at the Grammys, which is going to air next month, February 2nd, on CBS Paramount Plus. But in regards to this whole situation, unless Cardi can prove all this other stuff that Tasha K is doing what she need to be doing, because I'm sitting out here thinking this. If you're going to get in this game of blogging, YouTubing, podcasting, gossip, and you're going to be talking about people got STIs and saying stuff, but you don't even have any kind of chronological evidence of stuff. And we've already heard the stories about how evil and vindictive and shady and messy that Tasha K can be, and how she's a user, and a lot of the behind the scenes things, how many bridges she's burned with so many other fellow personalities. You can kind of believe it. And you're starting to think like, okay, bitch, maybe you the damn problem. And I can understand why Cardi is going so hard on her and being petty. She don't need the money, to be honest. She's doing this to set an example, especially someone as evil and vindictive as Tasha. So I understand the principle why she's doing what she's doing. She don't need her money. She's doing this because she's intentionally making your life a living hell because of the shit you did and continue to do. So I'm not surprised by what Cardi's situation or stance on this. But you're going to have to really come forward and try to be able to show that she is hiding assets. Because my thing is this: if you out here hustling hard and you selling out, you going on little tours and you selling out, which is what we see so many other people doing. Funky Doniva's doing it with the touring around the U.S. and things. T.S. Madison, who basically encouraged Funky to get into it. And I'm sure that that's where Tasha got the idea too. Because when T.S. Madison is friends with you, she's going to encourage you to find other ways of making your money. Only different thing is that Tasha's vindictive, shady, talk shit about every damn body, when her house ain't necessarily all that damn clean. And especially when it comes to the LGBTs, she got stuff to say about them. But you be using them to get where you need to get in your situations, which I don't understand that. So, and I'm hoping one day to get to the point where I can do those whole traveling and stuff, and doing the fans coming and do those type of shows and stuff with the audience. But if you making some kind of income, then you should be able to pay that money that you owe based off of the jury's verdict. So why hasn't she started paying off that $3.5 million yet? That's what I'm wondering. So yeah, here's her her banquet hall background that she had designed, because it is giving like Kingdom Hall teas with that background. So anyway, I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story in regards of Cardi going hard on Tasha K and wanting that money from Miss Trashy? So whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the or should she even let it go at this point? But I said, she's stubborn as hell. You Libra's stubborn as a damn mule. She ain't letting it go. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. Oh, I read that away. You said Cardi does not look flattering in that Met Gala. Okay. And you said there was this crazy viral TikTok about Cardi being in her 30s, still seeking validation from men by getting surgery. It's funny how I didn't need a viral TikTok video for us to come to that assessment. I think we've all kind of been thinking it, that she's so damn, and I've been saying many a times, people have been saying that she's so damn insecure with how she looks and stuff that she had to go get a whole new body, a whole new face. And I even had people in my comments going in on Kate Beckinsale with the whole thing regarding like the video, the article that we did on the show, or the topic, where she was talking about I guess trying to relate to her own on-set stuff that she was dealing with, along with the whole Blake Lively situation. And people were going on her face. I didn't want to state the obvious and go there with that. I just want to focus on the story. But if y'all want to be in the comments and be shady and start making comments about looks and face, I'm like, that's on you. I may co-sign, but I was like, I ain't doing that. Because beauty is subjective. And she does look good, but she does look like a totally new person. But yeah, it's just sad, like, when you look at Cardi B, like, don't get me wrong. If you feel it in your heart that you want to spend money to improve on certain areas about yourself that you want to change, then why not do that? If I want it, like I said, down the road, when the time comes and I want to get a little Botox, trust and believe, I will get some Botox. I won't go crazy but I look like the back of a baboon's ass, but I would get a couple of little things done just so that way I can keep it a little youthful, but I don't want it to be able to face my forehead don't move at all. I don't want to be out here looking crazy. I don't want to come out here looking like a blowfish. And if there's things you want to improve on, it's like I say, go for it. Spend that money, but spend the good money and go to the good surgeons. But don't go haywire to the point where it's just like, oh, I'm only doing because I'm trying to keep a man happy. Because a piece of man is better than no man at all. There's some people that think that in their head. And then you wonder why you're so unhappy and miserable. Because no matter how much I do, no matter how much liposuction I get, no matter how hard I work at the gym, no matter how many tracks of weave I put in my head just so that way I can give you that full luxurious look, no matter how big I make my boobs, no matter how much silicone I pump into my ass cheeks, no matter how much work I get done on my face and blow up my lips and how many times I sit down and slop your knob, you still gonna run off to somebody else and cheat. I'm not doing that to myself. You got to get right within yourself. And some of these people need to do that. And I do feel like that Cardi is immensely insecure. And it's sad. But she got to learn to work on that. That's what therapy's for, not the damn internet. So we got 3 more topics to go on today's show, and then we are done. So if you have not already, please hit that like button and that subscribe button. Also, be sure to smash that notification bell so that way you know when we go live with a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. Please and thank you. Okay, let's get into some for news. Because now that, her fairy tale marriage is about to be officially done in February, there's a story that came out courtesy of Page 6 that this fairy tale that she was promised, turned out to be a nightmare in the end. First of all, how are you promising a fairy tale of a marriage? There's no guarantees or promises in anything you do in life. So for you to sit up there, maybe he was knee deep in some pussy, and we're just like, you know how men get, the minute they get that nut off, they speaking in tongues, and then once they done, then it's back to life, back to reality, and then it's a mess. So this is the fairy tale that she was promised turned out to be a nightmare in the end. This is what a source told People on Tuesday. Now, although Yennefer is currently in a really good place, she just wants to close the door on this crazy chapter. This is according to The Insider. Now, despite Yennefer being photographed at her soon-to-be ex-husband's home on Sunday, a separate source told the publication that they are not ever getting back together, in the words of Taylor Swift. Now, after Lopez filed for divorce in August of 2024, an insider told Page 6 that she believed that she was finally getting her chance at the fairy tale. She just really didn't stop to consider who the actual man was in the fairy tale. This is what the source told us, along with the big love Yennefer believes in is not in Ben's DNA. They continue. They said Ben has a darkness to him that no other person can fix. His ex-wife Jen Garner couldn't fix it. All the success in the world couldn't fix it. Now Lopez was 55 and Affleck, who is 52, officially settled their divorce on Monday. However, it will not be finalized until February 20th. The two will both exit the marriage with what they respectively required during their union, according to TMZ. Now, the Oscar winner will keep his stake of his and Matt Damon's production company, Artist Equity, and Affleck co-founded the company with Damon, his longtime friend, 4 months after he and Yennefer tied the knot. The $60 million Beverly Hills mansion, which the former couple previously shared, remains for sale. It has not been revealed how they agreed to divvy up the property. Now, Lopez will be able to keep the $5 million engagement ring that Affleck proposed with in April of 2022, according to court documents obtained by Page Six. Now, in her divorce filing, Lopez listed their date of separation as April 26, 2024. The duo, who ended their first engagement in 2004, did not welcome any kids, or they have a blended family of 5 children because, Ben has 3 and she has the twins, which she consumed with Mark Anthony. So, yeah, he has Violet, Serafina, and Samuel, and then Max and Emmy is Hennifer's kids with the twins. So, now, days before they settled their divorce, they said Lopez reflected on her challenging relationship in an interview with Variety. She described herself and her unstoppable character as kindred spirits, since they both endured similar difficulties, saying that we grew up Latina in this country. We both have children. We have hopes and dreams for them. We both had challenging relationships, which led us holding our families together. So that's great and all. However, this whole thing about her and this whole fairy tale stuff, I'm no shade. I really don't want to be a curmudgeon. I don't want to be a stink in the mud. I don't want to have to, ruin people's fantasies. But the fantasy relationship, the fairy tale situation, y'all need to stop watching this Disney shit. I'm sorry. Like, y'all out here thinking, oh, the Prince Charming is going to come on his horse. And in the Knight in the Shining, as they say in Tu Wong Fu, the Knight in the Shining pickup truck is going to pick you up and whisk you off your feet, off into the sunset, and you're going to live happily ever after. Like, this whole fantasy world that she lives in. It's like, girl, at what point are we going to unplug from the Matrix and live in the real world? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm sure there's somebody out there that will love her for her, but I just feel like the way the pomp and circumstance of J-Lo, Jennifer Lopez, I just don't think a lot of men can live up to that. And to me, I've said this many times, I feel like she's going to be in the same pool as possibly Taylor Swift, but more like Madonna and Cher, which is, you women have this debonair about yourselves where I don't see y'all compromising for a man. I think you'll probably do what you need to do in certain situations, but to completely submit, I can't see that happening. And I just feel like a lot of men would get deeply insecure that they feel like they can't measure up to a Jennifer Lopez. So it's not going to last long. And yeah, when you're dealing with somebody like Ben Affleck, who's got a lot of shit going on in his personal, and she be working hard on their body. So we can't never take that away from Miss Jennifer. The body is always going to be snatched. But the type of men, I feel like it just can't seem to measure up to what it is that she wants. So it'd be nice if one day she gets out. And look, there was a sidekick, we talked about it on the show, that said that Jennifer's next relationship might skew her a bit older. I don't think she's ever dated a man that's older than her, or has she? Because I think that A-Rod was younger, Chris Judd was younger, Ohani was younger, Drake definitely was younger. Her Ben Affleck is like 3 years younger. Mark Anthony, I think she and him, they're both the same age. So I don't think Jennifer Lopez has dated a man older than her. So the sidekick said that Jennifer, next man, might be an older man. And if she gets with an older man, I'm thinking go for a businessman. Get one of those. Get like a CEO or something. Somebody who's all about the business, come in, pipe you down, and y'all go about your business. I can say your relationship at this point is going to have to be open, because I can't see nobody do the monogamous thing. But that ain't going to work for her. I told her she a little too old school with the fairy tale stuff. So I say all this to say, good luck to you, Miss Jennifer, and on your endeavors. I'm glad that you're putting this marriage behind you. I'm glad that you found a way to be cordial with Ben. But I understand that they said they're going to be in each other's lives, but I'm like, you didn't have kids with him. That's your chance for you to go your separate ways. But I guess y'all are just too connected. The kids has got too connected. At their ages, they're young and they're all about like their brains are still developing. They don't know about the whole idea of, okay, when the shit hit the fan, you just take your bearings and you move on. Where their brains are still developing, so you pull them away from each other. It's just, it might be a little too difficult for them emotionally. So I get it on that part, but I was like, I'm leaving. But I think they both parents have connections with the kids. It's going to be hard. So I saw this and say, what do y'all think of this story in regards of, for Lopez's fairy tale marriage, more or less becoming a nightmare instead of the happily ever after that she wanted? So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. Okay, so now let's get into some drag race news. So we talked a little bit about, look, this whole week has been a bit insane. We lost to Vivienne, who was a Drag Race UK Season 1 winner. And then we, unfortunately, there was a lot of condolences. A lot of people were sharing their love and appreciation for Vivienne, except for one hater in aisle 5, and that would be Miss Tyra Sanchez, who decided to get up on social media and repost and make a comment about an old tweet that I guess rubbed her the wrong way from the Vivienne, which sparked a lot of outrage on social media. Particularly Candy Muse was like, it's on site. Like, if I see you in these streets, bitch, I'm beating your ass. Then, of course, Tyra decided to jump on, talk about some funeral, death, all that stuff. That's her go-to. We're trying to threaten to kill somebody. So, or unalive somebody, I'm sorry, because, you got to be careful with these algorithms over here on the YouTube. So, there was a couple of people that jumped in with talking about how violent, disgusting her comments was and all this other stuff. So, in my comments when I posted this video, and thank you all for it blowing up and all the comments, likes, all that stuff, but definitely appreciate it. But a lot of people in the comments on this post, on the previous video I did, was saying, RuPaul, you need to say something. You need to take away the crown from Tyra. You need to dethrone her. You need to give it to Raven. I was basically saying, like, at the end of the day, Raven is winning, regardless of, as the song goes, loser is the new winning. Losing is the new winning. So, Raven's doing fine. She doesn't need Drag Race and a win and a crown and a scepter and the $100,000, which at the time it was, or was it? What was the price for season 2? I think it was $50,000 in season 2. It didn't go up to like $100,000 until I think about season 3 or 4. But I know in the beginning it was $25K. I think in the second season was $50, and then it went eventually going up to $100,000. Now it's $200, and they went all the other stuff. But that's neither here nor there. So, they were saying that Raven should have won. I was like, Raven is winning. She's fine. She literally, I just saw her on the pit stop. I just saw her again on Fashion Photo Review. So she's everywhere. She's also doing, she's got her own shows and spinoffs. She's also doing Rue's makeup. So she's definitely winning in the money department. She's good. And then she has a show on World of Wonder, a little makeup, a makeup competition series. So Raven is not, she's everywhere at this point. She doesn't need the win. So she's good. So let Tyra have that. We just act like she don't exist. So everybody was pretty much saying, so besides that, a lot of people saying, Rue, you need to come out and say something. I was like, I guess in my mind, because I'm like, Rue never comes out and really responds to stuff like this. So she's not going to say anything. Well, guess what? Rue jumped up on Instagram and said something. So she posted the following, which is a clip from season 2, which had me cackling. Now, please hold as we play it of her going in and slapping.
Oh, Sharkeisha!
Let me just mute it. Slapping the living daylights out of Miss Tyra Sanchez, which I'm cackling over. So, yeah. So, there was that. And of course, they said, while numerous Drag Race contestants and RuPaul herself shared tributes to the later 32-year-old queen, Tyra resurfaced a 5-year-old social media post with the Vivienne that referenced her, basically saying that Tyra was fuming when she realized Netflix spoiled the win too. Sorry, gal. You tried, though. The Vivienne wrote in 2020, with Tyra replying after the queen's death, saying, yet it doesn't compare to the fumes of the crematorium, which, as I should have said, look, a lot of people went in on her. Candy Muse, Deja Sky, Tatiana, Mona Lisa, who's on season 17, and a bunch more. But the season 2 queen, she doubled down, continuing to mock the UK winner and All-Star 7 contestants' death in a series of posts on various social media accounts, including a response to the host's video clip. Now, Tyra also shared a message to her IG story after the thing. So a couple of people did jump in the comments. Oh, wait, let me just do it this way. So what had happened was Tyra, of course, responded to what Ru said. And here's what she said. She said, right back at you, puppet. And then put, I'm immensely thankful to everyone visiting my page this week. Whether showing love or showing your ass, you increase my page's reach tremendously. Welcome to all new followers. 2 fingers in the sky to those who left us. Special shout outs to the ones who truly hate me yet hang around watching my every move. With you hanging around here, you've increased the reach by 95%. Silly rabbits, you work for me. It is because of you that my name lives on. Bitch, are you slow? Because you're the one who decided to go on social media to post what you posted. So how you now trying to pull this situation where you gaslighting, and now you're trying to say, oh, well, y'all keeping my name in your mouth. Y'all watching my every move. Y'all are now following me. You're in my comments. Bitch, you the one that opened your fucking mouth and went on social media to post something you said about the Vivienne. So are you retarded? Are you dumb? I apologize for the R word, but in her case, the bitch is retarded. I'm sorry. She's stupid as fuck. She's got clearly something going on with her damn brain. And you need an exorcism. So for you to sit up in here and gaslight a situation and then try to play victim, fuck out of here with this bullshit. And I do agree, they should have took your ass instead of the Vivienne. All the shade and all the tea. But besides this old rotted, carotid soul, this rotted human being, let's go to the comments and see what the people said. So Shay Kool-Aid said, get her again for me, mama. Trinity K. Bonet said, no, let me do it, ma. You got a lot to lose. Just come get me out. Pandora Box did hand claps. The Candy Muse put mother in caps. Jan put say that. Dahlia Sin said had laugh emoji, said fully. A mandatory meeting put gag it actually. Miss Kasha Davis said thank you. Corey King said mother LMFA double triple O. Jeff Cotto said do it again. So a lot of the drag girls got up in the comments and said, and she has spoken, and she has finally spoken. Another person put, escandalo. Always low when Ru would do that. So yeah. So Tyra, bitch, you wanted the attention? Well, guess what? Your nappy-headed ass got it. You're just a rotten human being, just a demonic, evil, soulless person. I don't understand the point of why you even. I mean, I get it, but have some respect for people, let alone, and also yourself. And you know what? There was a point where I was actually rooting for you. Yeah, I'm gonna get my Tyra Banks bag. We was rooting for you. We was all rooting for you. I was rooting for you at one point. It looked like you was getting the help you needed. You were turning over a new leaf, and you were not trying to be that evil, self-hating bitch that you were in the past. And so a lot of people saying Tatiana was right. Of course she was. Tatiana knew her for what she was, but it was good TV at the time. But now we see all this stuff coming out where you threaten to blow up DragCon, and you threaten the Morgan McMichaels. We know Morgan fights. And all the crazy problematic stuff you said over the years. It's like now you want to play dumb. So that's the latest on that. And shout out to Vivienne and her family. My condolences go to you all. And I'm glad that, I wasn't expecting RuPaul to come out and speak out on this and go in on her, because I guess, I guess enough of y'all was tagging her. She was like, I got to say something. I can't tell you how many people put at RuPaul and tagging in my videos and stuff when I was talking about this. So, and I'm sure all the other people that was out here posting and putting up stuff about it too, it was getting to him and he had to come out and say something. And I'm glad in a way, even though I didn't expect him to, because of his status and where he is and how many Emmys the show won and how huge Drag Race is, I didn't think Ru was going to come out and say something. But I think that video clip was solid enough where it hit it. You know, it said what it needed to be said when it needed to be said. And the people that commented need to comment. So I said, let's say, what do you think of this story in regards to RuPaul finally breaking her silence on Tyra's problematic ass, saying what she said, and RuPaul clapping back and chastising her, smacking her on the damn hand, saying, bitch, get in line. Relax. Stop all this foolishness. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. I was like, oh, where's my comments? Magic Berry says, I'm late to the party. Thank God for clips. And I'll be clipping the hell out of this show later. And he said, when someone passes, notably not the best time to be bitter. I'm telling we done forgot. First of all, we all forgot about whatever it was that the Vivienne said towards her. And I don't even know if even back then when the Vivienne first posted it, did you even respond to it then? Like, that's what I'm wondering. Was there a response to what the Vivienne said back then? You responding years later because you decided to use it as an opportunity that you sat on an old tweet for years. And now that this girl's dead, this queen is dead, now you want to come out and use it as an opportunity to gain attention for yourself. So I hope they give Raven some sort of official crowning. They kind of hinted at it when they had her walk into the workroom at the beginning of All Winners. Well, I think in so many ways, yeah, they're like, Ru, you done made a mistake. Well, look, it is what it is. We can't all get it right every time. And you said someone always has to be problematic. Tyra, we were never surprised. Okay. Tyra wouldn't like it if somebody said something about that son of hers. Ooh, that part. The career and wealth Tyra could have had, obviously damaged and rotten to the core. I think Ru regrets making Tyra. You know what? Years later, it's sort of like, years later, it's bound to happen. Oh, really? Hold on, let me see. I got a lot of. First of all, I got a lot of TikToks in here, so it's gonna be hard for me to. Oh, I see it. Let me wait, are you typing in something else? Are you talking about it's about Roe v. Wade? I'm gonna have to check that out later on. And if I see anything in there, then I'll check for it. But yeah, so you know, I get distracted when I be having to look through my messages. But you said if he does, but I'll respond to this. If he does consider stepping down, because he's already stepped down from the franchise over in Down Under, if he steps down from UK, then who should replace him on that franchise? Do you actually think that they're doing this as a way to set Michelle up to be the new host to take over? I do feel like if it comes down to it, they need to find a queen to take over the series, like drag queens, and have them host. How did I know you was gonna say Lawrence Cheney? Because I was thinking that in my head. So they might pick Lawrence. I mean, to be honest, I'm not feeling the people they got over there doing Canada, but it is what it is. It's still on. People still watching it. So I guess I don't know what I'm talking about in regards to that, but I'm just not feeling it. The over there hosting Brooklyn and all that, I'm not feeling it. But it is what it is. And like we already talked about America, like if they do pick somebody, they will pick they should go with Bianca Del Rio. I would love to see that. Bianca Del Rio has enough cachet in the world where she can breathe new life into the show. But yeah, Lawrence Cheney might be a good choice. But yeah, it comes to a certain point where it's like, yeah, these shows are exhausting. It's like you're shooting these shows for a month, maybe more. And the hours of deliberation, it's a lot of work that goes into doing these reality competition shows. I'm putting out in the universe. That's something I would definitely love to do, be it, whether I'm a judge or a host. I would love to do kind of like reality TV competition type stuff. So, like you said, Lawrence Cheney. Okay, now speaking of the Vivienne, let's get into in the UK. Let's get into our final topic, which is that DragCon apparently is looking at a way to honor the Vivienne when the UK DragCon comes around. So now RuPaul DragCon UK will host a memorial booth space at the event this weekend. Oh, I didn't know DragCon was this damn close. I was sitting there thinking later on this year because, you know, they had the US DragCon in the summer. But I guess, you know, and I know a lot of people was complaining about that it was too damn hot. So, yeah, so they said they're going to host a memorial booth space at the event this weekend for attendees to pay tribute to the Vivienne following her death on Saturday, June 5th, or January 5th, sorry. Now, it was confirmed on Sunday that the Vivienne, born James Lee Williams, died at an address near Chester on Sunday, age 32. Police have since stated there was no suspicious circumstances. Now, as the first ever winner of RuPaul's Drag Race UK, her absence from this weekend fan event, DragCon UK, will be painfully felt by attendees and its stars, many who have shared personal tributes to the Vivienne this week. Now, organizers behind the event, which takes place at Excel London this Friday and Saturday, 10th and 11th of January, have confirmed plans to set up a space for attendees to pay their respects. They ask fans to be mindful when meeting the queens this weekend, as many of the stars will not yet feel able to talk about the Vivienne's death, saying as we all move through this weekend together, we know that many of us will want to celebrate the Vivienne by sharing condolences with those close to her. This is what the organizers wrote in a post on Instagram. So they also said, please be mindful that we all process and experience grief differently, and some people might not be ready to yet talk about the loss of someone important to them. We're providing a memorial booth space on the pink carpet where all attendees of DragCon can go pay tribute to the Vivienne, share condolences, and speak about it if they're ready. The team behind the event confirmed the LGBTQ plus support charity Switchboard LGBTQ plus helpline would be present for anyone in need of someone to talk to. Now they also said, we cannot wait to see everyone this weekend and fill the room with love. This is what the statement rounded off. Now, Drag Race UK, or DragCon UK, sorry, is the UK's largest annual celebration of drag, drawing tens of thousands of fans to the capital every year. Last year, it welcomed around 200 queens from across the drag race world. This year's event will see even more stars in attendance, including new contestants currently appearing on RuPaul's Drag Race Season 17. So hopefully they got their passports ready. They got enough coins where they could go up there and have a booths and everything set up. They're also saying that they're planning to host a memorial booth for attendees has been widely praised by fans and queens, with Drag Race UK Season 4 winner Danny Beard writing, "Lovely, thanks for doing this, guys." Some fans of the drag reality show have pleaded with DragCon attendees not to trauma dump on any of the contestants they meet at this weekend's event, saying, "I am begging y'all to not trauma dump on these queens this weekend at DragCon. It's totally okay to still be in mourning, but we have no idea how those close to Viv are feeling, and it's not our place as fans to open those incredibly fresh wounds." So here's the thing. I actually like this idea. I feel like this is a way for the fans to go to the booth and pour all of that energy and sadness and all those things into that booth. I agree with them when they say, do not trauma dump on these celebrities. You don't know them personally. You don't know these people like that. You don't know what their triggers are. So do not go up to these people and be like, "I'm sorry, I know how close you were to the Vivienne," and bringing up stuff from the show and all this. Don't do that. Go up to the booths, and whoever your faves are, go do the usual, what it needs to be done. You sit on the line, you get the merch, you go up, you take your photo, you have them sign the merch, you give your hug, and then keep it moving. Please do not go up there with y'all bullshit, because they're already having a lot on their minds they're dealing with. They're already stressed out with getting the booth together, the regular booth, DragCon stuff that they have to deal with. The booth, making sure everything is copacetic, making sure the team is there to do what needs to be done, making sure that their team, in regards to the outfits, do what needs to be done and making sure, all their drag is up to par and all that other stuff. So there's a lot they have going on that they have to worry about besides you coming up. And I don't want to sound heartless in this, besides you coming up to them with your stuff. Hence why I think that this booth idea is a great idea, because then they don't have to deal with all of that. So good on you. And so I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story in regards of this new idea regarding a booth to be able for the fans to be able to pay tribute to the Vivienne? I won't be in the UK, but I'll definitely be keeping my ears to the streets on what went down over at UK DragCon, and how also we'll see how they plan on paying tribute to the Vivienne, if they will, but I think they will, because she was beloved in America too, in the US. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. He said, yeah, it is interesting timing, because I don't think that was I don't think that was something that was planned. I do think that it's clever that somebody was quick to think, you know what? So yeah, we don't want to put these queens through a whole bunch. It was like, this was poor timing. We weren't expecting something like this to happen, but we need to come up with some sort of alternative, so that way when it comes down to it, that the fans will have somewhere to pour their stuff into, and hopefully maybe even the queens that are at, if they have a moment, that they can go into the booth and pour all that stuff out and get rid of all that energy of, with the Vivienne and all the other stuff. So good on them for coming up, for whoever came up with this concept, the people that came up with this concept. All right, so now, excuse me, we're at the end of today's show. I want to thank you all for tuning in to the latest episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. If you can, please do me a solid and hit that like button and that subscribe button, and also smash that notification bell, so that way you know when we go live with a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. I want to thank all of you who have been on the live chat, chatting along with me in the comments. And thank you again, Robert, for the super chat. Love y'all watching. Until next time, ciao, darlings.